to do this. You now have my undivided attention. I was
Excellent.
busy getting murdered by dinosaurs,
Oh, that's
but
fine.
I'm.
What game were you playing?
Now you can get murdered by
Dave
zombies.
the Infant, I think.
Yes, I was playing the murder Uncle Rick with dinosaurs in the bathtub game.
It's a good game, but the body count gets very high very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all Uncle Rick. There's only so many ways that I can die, and I'm an actor.
Hide behind the
know.
pile of dead bards.
I believe we do have songs for that. You could just go through the entire Dumb Ways to Die trilogy with him.
Oh, dear.
This is our family.
Okay,
Perfect
so
constellation.
we are a little late, so I'm going to push past some of the pleasantries because I know that we have a hard stop at 10, and this is an expansive mission, and we now have 5 people when I was planning around 5, then 4, now 5 again. So,
If you
I'm
want,
not complaining. I'm happy you're all here.
if you want, I can trivially I can trivially kill either Dan or new person.
Okay, so
yourself.
very quickly, 2 things. And then my brain dropped out of my head, because of course it did.
Introductions?
Yeah, actually, quick introductions would be good. Are we recording yet?
We are.
Excellent. So if everybody can give a relatively quick description of yourself, your Phoenix name, etc. The other thing I was going to say is there's this this mission is harder than the last one, and I am going to try speeding up combat a little bit more than last time. I wanted to let everybody have a chance to get to know the system. Eric, you get special dispensation to go a little slower because this is literally your first combat in it ever.
It's not my first combat.
Yeah, it's your first real one.
I murdered a Death Knight training.
So the other thing is, and one of the reasons I wanted to run the first 2 pre-made adventures before kind of branching out into my own story, aside from calibrating, is that this second mission starts not with the briefing, but with you guys in the middle of a fight. Then we go back and you get the briefing afterwards.
In media res.
Once you guys describe yourselves, please stick your pawn in the middle of the table where you want to be in relation to the other phoenixes at game start. Then I will read the opening crawl of what shit you've all gotten into.
Do we know where the enemy is?
Nope.
I'm just going to place myself here, and everybody can assume I will charge in whatever direction there is going to be an enemy show up.
The adventure assumes that there are only 4 of you and that you are in a 2x2, but, you know, I'm willing to let that change a little bit. Okay, let's dive in. Everybody roll a die, and whoever rolls the highest has to do their intro first.
Could I get a lobby invite?
Oh, shit, yeah.
I got a 4.
I got an 8.
I also got a 4.
Am I really going to go first? Oh, no. Eric got a 13.
I don't think Eric, have you rolled yet? Eric is also not in the game yet.
Oh, crap. What the hell's with these white man collar beads just hanging here? Stop throwing shit at me, Nick!
Okay.
It's the most fun way to do things.
Eric, are you in Steam?
Trash Panda was connected and at red and is now disconnected. I think there might be internet issues. Trash Panda, can you hear us?
Bibbity boopy.
Trash Panda. I think Eric has left the building.
Yeah, I think they might be having connection issues.
I'll give them 2 minutes. Let's see.
We're fully recovered from last session, right?
Oh, yes. Oh, very much so,
Okay.
yes.
Alright. Yes, I can get my 3 health and 9 sparks back. Because I definitely did almost kill myself containing that bomb.
I'm very happy you could make it, Dan, because without giving too much away, this one's in Alonia.
Okay.
I don't know where that is, but that's okay.
Is it really okay?
It'll have to be at least a little okay for now.
Can someone text Eric quickly and see if he's coming or not?
I will attempt to text Eric.
Okay.
What's the hotkey for arranging objects in a set pattern?
You select them all, you hover them like you're going to move them, and then you hit the number key of how many rows you want them to be in. Aha!
Now we just need a trash panda in the chat.
Well, text has been sent. We will see whether or not
Okay.
it is received.
Okay, they have...
Oh. Okay.
Oh.
That's not good.
Suddenly and rapidly, we're descending into a text game.
Mhm.
Your directions are north, south, east, and Dennis.
I will go to. I will go, Dennis. Can I?
And
Can I give Dennis a jacket?
No, you can only go, Dennis.
Oh, I will. Well, wait. Can I? Can I?
You
roll
spot in front of ye a flask.
I will pick
Can you
up.
get
I will
flask?
pick. I will pick up the flask and go, Dennis.
You cannot pick up ye flask.
I cannot pick up ye flask. Can I put down?
cannot.
Can I put down ye flask?
You cannot put down ye flask.
Can I drink from ye flask while it is on the ground?
You successfully drink from ye flask. Unfortunately, you forgot to check what was in the flask. As the acid burns through your intestines, you forget and curse your negligence. You died. Would you like to reload?
I
Yeah.
have posted ye and off topic. Do I get anything for that?
No.
Well, that means I come back with more sparks and now an additional health level. Okay, I will go.
Also, I did also find the fifth direction, west.
Nah, West does not exist in these universe.
there is only
Probably
West.
for the best.
There is only Dennis.
It's north,
Yeah.
south, east, and Smegulon.
Smegula.
No,
Nebula.
still a fan of East. I suppose the question is, do we want to actually stick someone in the middle of a box, or are we just going to be a pentagon?
I mean, I was planning on being in the middle. We can
Oh, I
make
guess
it
I
in
should
the
roll it.
So why don't you guys just start arranging yourself until we get... Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a die. I rolled a 4.
I'm
All right.
giving-
I feel like
I'm
as
giving
said
Eric
before-
one more chance to get tech issues worked out before I just say go.
Apparently, they're doing a full restart.
Yeah, that's...
to avoid awkwardness. Is this an Eric I know, or is this another Eric?
You once had a long... So, you would have talked to them at one point as Ricky. Like, we were on a shared Skype call, and you were talking about, the wonderful times that were the end of Telltale.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Okay, yeah, okay. Got it.
Pikachu?
Got you.
Pikachu, Wombat, Snorlax, Aurora, Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff.
Yeah, did you just say Kadigglypuff?
Diddlypuff.
Did you say? Did you say
Diddly-
wombat?
Wombat.
The newest
Wombats
original form.
making their return.
Wombats.
TJ and the Wombat.
Wombat!
Wombat. Wombat.
Just remembering that one shot I ran about for testing out Sports Ball, where your team was Combat Wombats and your intro song was
That was great.
Fire Rose.
I don't understand what's going on in this world anymore, but I'm okay. I'm happy to have been a part. Who's blue?
Ziggy.
Ziggy's hiding in the middle?
Yeah.
And... Okay, so me and Hunter are opposite, and Bit and not Bit are at the other cardinal directions.
Yes, which is the reason why what's going to happen is you're going to charge off in one direction, Bit is going to stealth and run away, and that's going to leave the rest of us standing there.
I mean, I'm only going to charge into battle if I see an enemy that needs to die.
Mm-hmm.
Which is going to be immediately.
You have so little faith in me.
I have exactly as much faith as I have gleaned from experience.
In this game or in our entire...
General, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just some murder hobo who's on the
Trash
streets.
Panda is online.
Oh, we got a flip.
Okay.
There he is.
Good lord. Apparently Discord.
Uh-oh.
Definitely something to do with Discord.
You started roboting between syllables of Discord and then went silent.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
How am I
You're
doing
fine
now?
You're good
Okay.
now.
Now you're
Good.
fine.
You're doing good now.
And Tabletop
Well,
Simulator can't handle you either, apparently.
Yeah, it literally went Discord.
Yep.
Well, let's see how this holds up.
Okay.
Okay, camera mode, third person. There we go.
Third
That's
time's a
better.
charm, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody who hasn't yet, roll a die to see who gets to introduce themselves first. We're jumping in because we are now almost half an hour late in a game
Yeah,
that has
I,
a fixed end time.
I rolled a 4, so I think we have 2 4s and 2 8s.
3 4s and 2 8s.
I've got a
3
6.
4s and an 8.
Is
right.
it your first?
I'm first.
Yes.
You're first with an 8. Eric got a 6.
Okay, so I am playing Pout. For those of you who knew Pout last time, having recently come out of a cauldron, stronger, more powerful than ever before, Pout is less like a clown who has lost its luster and has started getting some color back. Almost seems like there's a smile touching his lips. He is a pear-shaped individual wearing oversized baggy pants held up by suspenders, a fluffy white pirate shirt, a red hair, face paint, a large bulbous nose, and oversized shoes, and is clutching a rubber chicken in his hands. And
This is tradition.
and the mark of the bitter is on his face paint in a where you would normally see a clown tear painted on. That's Pout.
Okay. We're just going to go clockwise.
Okay. I guess
So-
that makes that makes me next.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Bit is a short and fairly scrawny teenager. He's has basically everything about him is pale blue hair, kind of very light violet eyes, kind of wispy white clothing, cloak. But pretty much the only notable feature is that under his arm he's carrying a giant orb made of orange jade and ringed with obsidian.
Ah, you did keep the orb safe.
I did in fact keep the orb safe. Well, no, that's just my my totem.
Oh, okay.
Your Talon?
Orb.
Talon, yes, that's
Yeah.
the word.
All right. Ziggy.
All right. Chronicle, who is an older man wearing very humble robes, wielding a large walking stick that looks like an oak branch, at the top of which is a large reflective prism that always, whenever you look into it, you always see your reflection. And he is, that's that.
Okay. And Hunter.
Right. So So coming out of a new Crucible, Hunter is mostly the same as when all of you last saw her. Still small, slight, decked out for battle, though in more of a skirmisher's armor than someone who would really be holding the line. Her tattoos have shifted a bit. None of you probably have any cultural context to understand what that means, so you'll have to ask her if you want to have any idea what that means. But she's still good for the tattoos, and notably now, every time she exhales, it's as if the temperature was, like, below 0 and there's a mist forming, no matter how warm it is nearby.
Okay. And Salamander.
So my name is Af. Since you guys like to waste air in the Empire. I am from Coratan. I'm a pretty reedy dude, pretty tall, and I've got like pale white hair, bright, almost fluorescent blue eyes, like bleach pale skin. Like I look like I've never seen the sun before. And I'm wearing a gray robe with a bright red surcoat over it, with straps all over, essentially like a medieval utility belt. And I've got heavy work gloves, heavy work boots, and iron bracers. And there's a thin line of tattoos running up the side of my neck.
Excellent. Excellent. Is everybody ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
You're standing on the roof of a massive building. Around you are the remnants of a garden, originally designed to feed the people who live here, but no one's tended to it for a long time. Most of the planters are empty, save a few weed-choked trellises. You're near the edge of the roof, and the busy streets of the capital are 70 feet below. People go about their business, but you've got other things to worry about. There's a stairwell near the center of the roof. That's where the sounds first come from. Dozens of voices moaning in unison, chanting words in an ancient language. Moments later, they begin pouring in from the doorway. An old woman wearing a bloody shawl, a musician using his instrument as a club, a young boy, all moaning the same words in perfect time and heading for you, moving with the same jerky gait. You know what this is. The Chant, one of the most infamous manifestations of the Dread. No one knows anything about it beyond these simple facts. It starts when someone begins to chant and attack the people around them. Those who hear the chant either join in or are torn apart by the chanters. It spreads quickly. Entire villages and even major cities have been lost to the chant. We don't know how it begins or how it spreads, and we don't know how to save anyone once they've begun chanting. Now a mob of chanters is charging you and making an attack with a value of 7. So, we are leading off with everybody having an attack of 7, being attacked with a 7, while I put some chanters out.
7.
These are all health levels. You can flip them over for me as I put them out, if that's okay.
Do we see what the value is?
Yeah, they're all 3s.
7, you say?
Well, one thing is going to happen very fast for me with this. Oh, that is a lot of
I'm
health.
not done.
Oh boy.
I feel like copy and paste is your friend here.
Yes, but I put the correct number in the bag before we started.
No.
You know what would be a cool feature of Tabletop Sim? If you could grab a bag, flip it upside down, and just shake it.
So dumb question. Do these each count as individual people, or if we make a massive spread against them, it'll carry over to multiple health levels?
It will carry over to multiple health levels, and every 1 to 2 of these is 1 chanter.
Cool.
Okay,
So once again, everybody's being attacked for 7.
Cool.
Like every single one of you. That is
Yep.
how this combat is starting.
Am I still allowed to trigger Shadow Dancer since it's the start of a combat?
In this particular instance, I'm going to say sure.
Okay.
You can eat one of the environmental elements to become him.
I will hide behind the tasteful decorated shrub.
Okay.
Okay.
Dan, you do successfully hide. It's amazing. None of your wingmates can see you, but these chanters still jerk in your direction. Oh wait, no, never
Oh.
mind. Thinking of something else. That'll
Was
happen
it?
later.
Can they
Okay.
smell
What?
him?
So, who wants to make defense spreads?
Sure, I'll start by making a complicated one. 1 minute. How much defense do they have?
3.
3 defense. 8, 11.
And
All right.
the
I'm gonna
the M-
I'm gonna
the
do
M-
a partial stunt here.
Okay, just real quick, the MP3 player I was trying to pull out before I was looking for Gregorian chant.
So, well,
Nice.
as they all come dashing up, one thing that Hunter at least immediately goes is too slow, too weak. One of the first things she does actually is take her poleaxe, slam it to the ground, and with utterly inhuman strength, just shake and collapse part of the roof underneath them so that some can't reach her. But she's used to mass combat like this, and this is a melee attack, right, Wash?
Yep.
So I defend with stunting superhuman strength
Mm-hmm.
to add to another card to my defense spread. Defending with 9, which also gives me a counterattack of 12.
How do you get the? Oh, is that?
My talent. I made a melee attack, so now I have +3 attack for the end till the end of the scene.
Yeah, that happens after you make the initial melee attack.
Oh, okay. Well, it flips over then, and now counterattack of 9 then.
Yes. And what are you getting the counterattack from? I'm just trying to remember.
Combat style.
Excellent. Okay.
Hit a spark, and I'm gonna burn a spark to cause a stun on Chanter Mob. Does causing a stun on Chanter Mob do anything, or are there too many targets?
In this particular case, it's too many targets. This
Okay,
is a
so-
group enemy. So your final attack value is what? 9?
9.
Okay. You knock out 2. So yeah, yeah. So what's everybody else doing or taking for this 7 attack?
I'll take 7.
You'll take 7. Excellent.
I put a 4 as my defense grace.
Okay. So
I'm also defending.
okay.
With how much?
I'm defending with 6, hoping to get it down to 0. So as the crowd comes towards Salamander, he is very familiar with crowds from his time in the overpopulated vaults. So he just treats it like it's market day and slides past people, grabs shoulders, kind of wedges his way through, and tries to make himself as unobtrusive as possible. He's just one of the crowd.
Excellent. Okay. Izzy, you take a total of 2 wounds.
That's it.
Yep.
I was gonna say, hey, you want to hear a knock knock joke? Ow!
I would like to give damage to everybody before we.
That's fair.
You said you blocked 6, Eric. So you take 1 wound, 2 injury points. Ziggy, what'd you say you blocked with?
4.
Ooh,
Okay. You also take 2 wounds.
Okay, I'll use my Shining Mirror combat style to reflect 4 points of brutal damage back to them.
Very nice. That will take out another 2 chanters.
Question, Washington messed this up last time. Are they taking 2 damage or 2 wounds?
In this particular case, 2 wounds, because he was doing brutal damage. Oh, wait.
It's 2 points of brutal damage for each wound I take, which is
Yeah,
I meant two PCs, because we messed that up last time.
What are you talking about?
Is it damage coming in or number of wounds? Because we have like the
I have
2
been
health.
saying wounds.
Okay.
So Eric
and
and
what
Zig-
was your defense total, Nick?
9.
9? Okay, yeah, you blocked the whole thing.
So Ziggy and Eric Chronicle and Salamander took 1 damage each.
I took 2.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, wounds.
Salamander took 1, Chronicle took 2.
Yeah.
Okay, drawing 3 cards for the 2 of you, and then 2 for me.
Okay, and in counterattacking, you guys have already managed to take out 4 of these things. Okay, we are just about to get into player actions, where you guys get to choose who goes until the chanters get their turn again, based on their speed. But a little bit more things to read out here. The chanters appear to be denizens of this building, mostly Elonians, drawn from all ages and walks of life, with a few things in common. They each walk with a shuffling, jerky gait, yet they move remarkably quickly, and they are bleeding from every orifice. Blood drips from their eyes, ears, mouth, and nostril. Uh, all of you, please describe one of these chanters that you are fighting and is advancing towards you, trying to bash your heads in.
All right, I guess I'll start. My guy has he's a really pleasant sort. He's wearing a very congenial smile on his face, very combed, slick back hair, almost a real neighborly next door type, which would be fine if it wasn't for the fact that most of his skin was missing.
My guy was obviously in the middle of preparing for a celebration. He's pretty bloody, but he's actually coming with weapons. He has a fork, like a carving fork and knife that quite obviously was supposed to be used for something delicious and now isn't.
Okay.
At least nice to see something vaguely familiar up here, though I wish he wasn't quite so big. I'm squaring up against the local smith, who's carrying a full-sized hammer and what appears to be a railroad spike.
Dan.
So from his hiding place, Bit spots what, without the bleeding, would just look like a pretty normal young mother. With basically, other than the bleeding, looks fairly normal. But crossed over her chest is a bundle that probably at one point contained a baby, but now looks like just a bloody mess.
Oof. Also, everybody feel free to right-click one of these tokens and add a name to one each. Whether it's your description or what have you. I will also say that other people you see are a tiny girl clutching a stuffed bear, using it as a weapon. Its fur is soaked with blood. Another old woman with a broken arm that she seems completely unaware of. And a well-dressed man whose purse is torn and coins slip out whenever he moves.
Cool.
Okay, did people draw their hand back? Okay, I was just wondering where cards were, because...
Yeah, you shouldn't draw up right now from the cards you used for defense.
Yeah, because I knew Izzy drew and Dan didn't do anything.
Yep.
I have a card that will let me give you all of you an additional card if you want me to take an action. I think that's probably sensible.
That would be
it is
good,
now time for you guys to take turns, so...
That would be good, and then I would like to do a skill roll once I have a chance, because I think I can probably suss out, might be able to start sussing out a way to stop the chanting.
I'd like to attack before the enemies do, just so I can unload some of the wounds I've taken.
Also, so their speed is 3?
No, that's their defense. You guys don't
defense.
actually get to know their speed until it procs once.
Alright.
Okay.
Can I go first, because I have no hands, but we'll let you guys draw more things?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So, seeing all of this and this nonsense, Hunter is going to take a look around, try and find in this wide open area something at least defensible enough for the team to go to. That wheelbarrow actually looks pretty good. A thing that we can at least put between them and us. So first off, skill check with acrobatics to get on atop the wheelbarrow and draw attention from a more defensive position.
Okay, so what's your intent with the skill check? To just kind of get people to go after you?
Yeah, probably get people to go after me in this case. I'm not sure if I can boost my defense with a skill check.
Not while also trying to draw attention to yourself.
Okay, so yeah, I'm going to try and draw some attention, get up there, and just say, well, their backs turned to the rest of the team, using Inspiring to burn a spark to let everyone draw a card.
Yay!
Nice.
Okay. And you also get a card for using the water barrel.
And I get a card for playing it too.
Mm-hmm.
So many cards. So little time.
So many cards. And then I get to make, and then probably from up here. How much is their defense? 3. I think. Do I want to use Frostbite or Flowing Force right now? That is the question.
You technically have to pick that at the start of your turn, but yeah.
Oh, okay, that's technically at the start of turn.
Yeah, at the start of your turn, you get to pick from all of your available combat styles, and then it's locked in until you start your turn again, so you can't, like, switch to the better defense when your turn is over.
Okay, nope. I will continue with, like, they're attacking in melee, and I've made a target of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so, first things first, Hunter is going to use a bit of her new lesson to, breathe straight down, and in front of her, bodies are shriveling into black and cracking and breaking. That's just, some damage. A nice amount of damage. So that's 7, that's 10. Attack. 1 minute. Draw because I played a 2. So that one is an attack of 10.
Very nice.
1 minute. 10 is 7. I'd have to burn 2 sparks to get another +1 damage, or I could uncommit this to get another +1 damage. Or +2 damage. So that is an attack of 12.
Okay. You kill 3 more Chanters.
And then another attack spread. Oh. Yes. And briefly, you all can see just a shiver and strange look grace Hunter's face as people fall down to frostbite. Anyone may discard a card and draw a new card to replace it. Add that value to my current spread. I have an attack 7 right. So
I'll add 2.
So will I.
So
Only one of you.
only one of you may.
Okay, so it's discard and draw?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's discard and replace.
Okay, yeah, I will discard and draw, and I will add 2.
Alright, so that's an attack 9 going in at more of them.
Okay. That is 2 more.
And I'm going to recommit that spark.
Excellent.
Alright.
Very impactful turn, sir. You have killed... You guys have now killed 9 of these Chanters attacking you.
I can
I'm
also
Oh.
now over here and being big in a distraction.
I can kill 11 of them.
I gotta say, can I make a skill roll before we try to like wipe them out?
Go for it.
Let's see
So,
if you can end this.
quick fun story here. Nick.
Yep.
Sorry, Hunter. As you move closer, as you move closer to as you move closer to the carver, and before you manage to connect with them, you notice that this chanter isn't actually standing on the ground. They're floating just a few inches above it. Unlike the other chanters, this one is clearly dead, a puppet hanging in the air, their skin pale and bloodless. They are no longer chanting, but as you draw closer, you hear the chant clearly, a whisper reaching directly into your mind. Nick, you are being hit by an all-or-nothing power 10 attack.
All or nothing power 10, you say? And I don't get to spend anything as bonus defense, just the 2 cards.
Yep. I mean, you can still use traits and stuff, but,
assuming
you
it's
know what?
range.
Also, right, I said I was going to have this work on. Yeah. And the other person who will also get a power 10, the other person who will also get a power 10 all or nothing attack against them is opponent's dice. Here. Is Salamander.
I'm assuming this
Okay.
is counts for a ranged attack.
This is a ranged attack, yes.
Rude. Anyone have things they can play to boost? Because I can only I can only defend 7 by myself.
Yeah. Let's see. I will. Mm,
And I feel like we basically need to hit 10 or it's not worth defending against, from my understanding of all or nothing attacks.
Correct.
I can boost you by 1. That's all I got.
Is he
So-
dead?
I mean,
What?
I have 1 trait in my hand, which is worth a 1. So unless we can make it, there's no point in me using it.
I mean, I also have a trait worth 1 that I could use, but
Oh, wait, actually, I realized I could have done something hilariously for this. But let Eric go first. He had a thing.
What are they doing to me? Like, physically,
Oh,
so that
this
I know
particular
how to.
attack?
Yes.
Absolutely nothing. You feel almost tendrils of whisper and psychic force scratching against the back of your mind.
Okay. I am ready to attempt to make a defense.
Okay. It
So
is all or
I
nothing, so if you can't hit a 10, it is not worth defending against.
right. I think I can make a 10 if I get
Okay.
really lucky. So here's my 1 grace card. So as I start to feel this, I settle into myself and I go rigidly still, and it doesn't even really look like I'm breathing. And within myself, I start thinking against this thing. Oh, there's something wrong with this blood. Mine too. And the blood that's dripping from my face from where I got hit with that hammer starts to curl with black smoke. As the Kandari blood curse activates.
Nice.
So I get to draw 2 cards because I'm going to burn a spark on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then everybody. Huh?
Oh, I was going to say, you usually just flip the spark over because burning it, you have recovery.
Depends on how people want to do it.
Fair.
Okay. All right, let me read this again. Draw 2 cards, burn 1 spark. Yes, good. Okay. And I only drew intellect cards.
Oh.
All right, actually, I realized with a bonus I can actually just make it, so I think I might do this for hilarity's sake. So Hunter is going to get hit briefly with that, and just kind of giggle at him. Oh, you think that's damaging? Boy, did I learn something interesting yesterday. Daunting, disturbing insights. When I use this, I have to pick a member of the wing. They have to reveal a disturbing secret. If it's less
This is
disturbing,
not a trait card.
it is a trait.
No, it's a 3.
It still has the trait thing on it though.
What trait thing on it?
The name. I thought the name counted for that.
No,
There are like trait cards in the forceful deck that are 2s.
Oh, it does count as a trait. I maybe shouldn't have given out a 3 trait. Oh well.
We'll see how long it lasts.
It's true. Sorry for interrupting.
Um.
I still have to say it's okay. But yeah, continue.
All right. I think okay. So basically, I get to keep this card so long as every time I use it, we keep escalating how bad the story that you guys are telling is that Hunter learned about at some point. Or rather, how disturbing it is. But let's start with probably relatively tame for Chronicle. What is a disturbing story that you know about that Hunter might have overheard?
Actually, you know what, Nick? That doesn't work right now. For one thing, I think the disturbing insight thing only works on attacks.
It has a special kicker if it works on it if you use it on an attack.
Yes, but also the disturbing insights part where people have to reveal stuff doesn't kick in. And you haven't explained what disturbing insight helps you defensively.
Oh, my explanation for disturbing insight was actually going to be that like this psychic attack is being weathered because of something horrific that Hunter learned about. As like, oh, I mean, yeah, that's whatever you're doing is bad, but man, was 2 days ago did 2 days ago mess me up.
Uh, I am not sure if this works for that right now, unfortunately.
Okay,
So
not worth
unfortunately,
defending.
that's just not how the chant works.
Okay,
Sorry.
not worth defending against that,
All
unfortunately.
right. Okay. So you both take 1 wound.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's not my deck.
where's your deck?
Right here. Is it supposed to be on top or?
I shuffled.
Mm-hmm.
And you both have an affliction added to your deck.
Do we know what it is?
You guys can kind of hear the chant going in the back of your mind, and the urge to just go out in song and join the chanters is very strong. Who's next?
I would like to go next and do my skill roll.
Yeah.
So to suss out a more of a way to neutralize the chant, I would like to combine my observation of the chord from a safe location, as well as the existing lore that we've heard from stories of this particular affliction. Obviously, there's not a known way to deal with it, but we do have information about like how this group gets like attacks and that sort of thing.
Okay, so I have a quick question then. Are you trying to study the chant in front of you, like the chanters and all of that stuff, or are you trying to understand knowledge that you've had, that you have and have researched?
Well, you said that you said explicitly there's no knowledge of how to disarm the group, of how to, or rather, how to neutralize the chant.
Sorry, slightly better explanation. Are you trying to observe its effects on the chanters before you, or are you trying to understand the song itself?
Um, I guess the effect on the chanters.
Okay. Also, something fun that's popping up uh, for both Hunter and Salamander. You're having trouble making out the specific words, but you guys were told that nobody knows the language that the chant is in, but it's in Pyrean.
Hmm.
Okay, so normal
Oh,
people don't know
interesting.
the chant.
Mm.
Okay, and then what's my limit on cards for this?
Skills. This is in fact an intellect skill spread. The normal limit on intellect skill spread on any skill spread is 3 plus, the traits and all that.
Okay, so I'm gonna use those 3 plus cursed. My own unfortunate upbringing makes me more susceptible for basically gives me some level of insight into the horror that is going on.
I will
And
also say that lore does apply here.
yes, that's the plan is to use lore and observation.
Okay.
So I'll be committing 4 sparks to this as well, and then using the effect of cursed to let me burn a health level to get those back.
Okay.
And I also get to draw a card because I'm using cursed in a spread.
So Salamander, you feel somebody using sparks.
Good to know.
Anyway.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have
Nick,
10 from...
also just a quick note that Nick pointed out to me that I missed initially. It is not every specialty gives you +5. It is having any number of specialties gives you a single instance of +5.
Okay. So in that case, my total is, let's see, so 5, 10, 13, 17.
17.
And then I do get those sparks back by burning the health level.
Okay. So Bit, with a 17, the chant is a form of possession, as opposed to a physical disease. A malevolent spirit is controlling the victims' bodies. They are alive, but between blood loss and injuries, they're definitely dying. Even if the chant could be broken, many would still die. You notice this as you watch them moving jerkily, and every individual chanter seems like they're moving randomly and stoppingly, but as a group, they all move in unison towards something, towards one goal every time. Also worth noting, as blood seeps out from their eyes are darting around in directions in no way in unison with their body's movements. You also get a single spiritual entity controls the victims of the chant, something far greater than an individual ghost. It's too vast to be targeted by a simple exorcism. The sound of the chant has a compelling effect, forcing mortals to start chanting. If people can't hear it, they remain unaffected.
Okay. Well, that's a shame. I guess I'll make an attack spread then.
Okay. Are you going after the floating one or the mob?
Does the floating one have a different? Oh yeah, floating one has a different defense
Yeah,
value.
it's got 2 4s and 4 6s and a defense value of 6.
Oh, those look like 9s when I hold alt over them.
I know
Okay.
there wasn't a 6 in the token set, and I didn't realize it until it was too late.
Okay. Defense value of 6 means we need to hit 6 and then hit in excess of that to start dealing damage, right?
Uh-huh. Unless you're doing brutal damage, you need at least 10.
Okay, which I am not doing. Okay, so we're gonna commit.
I can make things vulnerable when I get another attack, but that'll be
I make
after
things
all.
vulnerable always.
So that's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna use hidden secrets. Let's use this as an intellect card for my attack. I'm also going to add hidden motion as a trait because I am hidden and no one can see me as I go to clock this asshole. And I'm also going to commit a spark to get me up to 10.
Okay.
So basically, we're going to be from my hiding place. We're going to be finding an opening between the bodies to throw the orb and basically smash the floating one in the head.
Okay.
And then hidden motion lets me draw a card. And since I used hidden motion, I also remain hidden after the attack.
Mm-hmm. So that's a total of 10 on the attack?
Total of 10 on the attack, so I will take off 4 level health.
Okay. So as your talon screams in from angles unseen, it bounces around very impressively, dodging every chanter in the way, and then connects right in the head. And then it just sort of bounces off as if there's a wall of force between you and it. Bwom.
So it didn't take damage?
It lost a health level.
Okay.
It lost a health level. You have not actually made physical contact with it.
Okay. But everyone can see that, fortunately.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and I guess that ends my turn, so I drew back up to my hand limit.
Okay. Now the Chanter mob gets to go again. It will definitely be targeting Hunter. What?
We drop back up to 5 now?
At the end of your turn.
After you take a turn, you draw back up.
Yeah.
Okay, can I go on our next turn?
Yeah, the enemies are just going first.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. They've got enough. There are enough chanters in the crowd to attack 3 of you. One of them will definitely be Hunter. And based on what's going on here, it's going to be Salamander and Bit. sorry, not Bit. Salamander and Pout, as they cannot see Bit right now, and Chronicle is well defended. So all of you are getting an attack of 8 thrown at you.
Including me or no?
Not you.
Okay.
And we remember from last time that this attack just deals brutal damage, it sounds like.
It does not deal brutal damage, but it does have a multiplier.
I'm gonna defend 8.
Okay.
Hmm.
You take no damage.
Okay, do I stunt this right now? I think I probably stunt this right now because that had been my plan.
I thought we were only allowed to stunt once on a round.
Whenever you have
you can stunt multiple times. You can only use one. You can only use one elemental. Environmental element per cycle.
Yep. Wash.
Yes.
Would disturbing insights work for I can hear the chant so I know where they're trying to strike and get out of the way?
That I will give you.
Okay. And because it's not the attack spread, I can just use that for the thing from what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so I am stunting disturbing insights with that. For defend, I overdid my defense because of the cards I had in hand, but
That's
defend
okay.
10 with a counter strike of 13.
Oh. You don't get you're not going to get epitaph to your counterattacks because that's specifically for attacks, and your counterattacks are the defend value.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's less good than I thought it was, but either way, counterattack 10, and then counterattack 12.
Okay. Minus, yeah. So that is 3 more.
I have the high ground.
That is 3 more dead. Every single chanter that has walked towards you, you have utterly destroyed.
Yup.
All right, and Eric, are you blocking?
I'm still kind of in that like catatonic state. Um, and I'm signing something repeatedly with my hands. And inside my head, I'm just saying, there's a way, and trying to fight back against the chant. Grim determination. So that's a 3 for defense. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's it?
That's
Okay.
all I got.
Oh no, do you not have other cards that are allowed in defense?
No, I've defended 3 times and I haven't attacked, so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Uh,
Mhm.
Given the chance, I would have gone off to Chronicle or Bit, but they are both unavailable to be attacked at this juncture. Yeah, so unfortunately, you're going to take another 2 wounds.
Luckily, Chronicler can heal that. Maybe.
Maybe. Let's see.
Okay. It is once again a player turn.
I guess I'll go.
Who took damage from that, by the way? I saw Ricky take 2.
Salamander took 2.
Just Eric, yeah.
Okay.
Wow, no traits.
Izzy has most of his deck in hand.
Did Ziggy just go quiet?
No, yeah, sorry, I was just reading my cards again. Okay, so yeah. So first off, I'm going to spend a spark to do shared strength, and I will take one of Salamander's wounds onto myself. So Salamander goes up by 1.
Thank you.
And I will use my passing pain to attack some of the mooks around us.
Okay.
Oops, so that is a successful attack. So, that's a grace.
Hey,
Oh, no, that's it.
And you are locked into passing pain until your next turn.
Yep. No. And I think I can use grace cards with spiritual guidance. No, that's in a skill spread. No, never
Yeah.
mind. All right.
Attacking
Wait.
with intellect is still nice.
Yes.
Ziggy, I think you flipped over the wrong card. You have 2 combat styles face up.
Oh,
No,
that was me.
that's not me.
That was me.
Ah. Oh, yeah, no, yep.
Okay. So we'll do those.
So is that
Let's
you the
see.
entire attack?
No. Let's see. So yeah, I'm going to use Warlock to its effect to draw 2 cards and place one of them on top. So, doop, doop. And yeah, I'll put this one back on top, and I'll include this as part of the spread.
Okay. Six,
Yeah.
7.
Yep.
7 and 1 passing pain strike.
Yes, I will use. Yeah, I'll.
Okay.
Yeah, since it's a successful attack, I'll spend another spark and pass one of my wounds onto that enemy as well.
Okay, so you take 1 out with your base attack and another 1 out with your passing pain strike.
Okay.
So you like they're swarming around and you're like blocking, then you just punch one through the face and it falls over, and you tap another one and it takes Salamander's wound and falls
Alright.
over.
Sounds good. That is all I got.
Okay. Now the Whisperer gets to go. It is going to do another Piercing Whispers All or Nothing Power 10 attack against... It's right up against you, Ziggy. It's going to go after you.
Sure.
He's right up in your grill.
Mm-hmm.
And secondarily, it will also throw a blast of telekinetic force.
I missed secondarily.
And secondarily, Pout.
Yes.
The weight that you feel connecting yourself to the rooftop dissipates for a second as you rise up slightly into the air and start feeling the air being crushed out of you as you are hit by a special ranged automatic hit. And you are grabbed telekinetically.
Okay, so I guess I
All
can't...
spreads you make are automatically reduced by 1 card, and you take 1 wound at the start of each of the Whisperer's actions.
Well, I'm killing him as soon as it becomes my turn, so good for him.
How much am I being attacked for?
10, all or nothing.
Okay. 4, 7, 10. There you go.
You get 3 in defense spreads.
Oh no, that's 2 cards. Sorry. 7.
Yeah, this is the reason why I was like, I'm not sure I was not capable of hitting 10 unless you had something.
What do you have?
Yeah.
How much do you have, Ziggy?
Let's see. I can use misspent youth because I know how to fight dirty here. To add at least that. So
What's your
that
total?
brings me up to 8. I need 2 more.
Seasoned veteran. I will start slipping on a... As he shakes me up and down because I'm in a telekinetic hole, I'm dropping a bunch of marbles, which are landing on the ground. You're just sliding ever so slightly out of the way.
Okay.
I like that.
I got nothing that can help here.
Anybody else have a
That's
+1? Anybody at all? Actually, Wash, are we allowed to throw more than 1 trait at him?
Nope, 1 per player per spread.
All right. I forget. Can you use more than 1 named trait in a spread?
Yeah, you just have to justify to me how each one applies.
All right. Then I didn't want to have to use this, but I'll also use since I am currently in the middle and trying to lead my my wing to victory. I'll use commander as well. So that'll bring it up to 10.
Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. You block the Piercing Whisper attack and do not gain an affliction.
Hooray!
Woo.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Hunter and Salamander, let me know if you guys draw an affliction or a card that says it counts as an affliction from here on out.
Uh-oh.
Bad things are happening because we can't hit defense 10.
It hasn't been my turn yet.
It is now another player turn.
Do you guys want me to go? Or do you want to go, Ricky? Or Eric, sorry.
I think let Eric go so he has any defense, and then Izzy annihilate.
Because otherwise I'm gonna die.
All right, so Eric first thing.
Yep.
Okay, so I look around and I'm basically a walking meatloaf. And everyone around me is gushing blood. And I just, like, trembling, reach out and touch the two closest chanters to me. And starting at my fingers like it's gasoline, the blood starts lighting. So I'm burning a spark to add an additional intellect card. And then I'm burning 2 sparks to get it up to, let's see, that's 3, 11, 13. Needs to be a multiple. 14, 15. 15.
15. Okay. You kill another 4 of these things. Oh, well, sorry, were you going after the Whisperer or the... No, yeah, you said.
No, I'm just lighting the crowd on fire.
Yeah.
I would prefer to nuke the ones that are right next to me,
yes,
though.
that makes sense.
If that's okay. Because I would like to stop getting murdered.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, guys, for letting me go.
Yeah.
That was tense.
Yup. It's really tough when we don't know what enemy action speeds are.
Well, we know now.
Did you draw... Well,
yeah. I drew an affliction. What's up?
Okay. Remember how I said that the chant was, like, scratching at the back of your mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't resist its pull temporarily now. And you open your mouth and join it.
Okay.
First off, take a wound. Second off, we add another affliction to your discard pile. Oh, wait. My bad. No.
It's supposed to be deck or discard pile.
It's different depending on how you get it.
I get to draw a card, right?
Yes.
Back.
When a phoenix draws an affliction card, the urge becomes overwhelming and you begin chanting. In the brief time before you regain control, you feel terrible pain as cold flame, the blood of a phoenix, flows from your eyes, nose, mouth, and pores. You take 1 wound and must choose someone else who can hear you, either a phoenix or an uninfected mortal, to be affected by the chant.
Should that be you?
Probably not at this point.
Should it be Dan? He has the most health besides me, and I'm already infected.
I don't know if I can be targeted.
It's Ricky, so sorry, it's Eric and Salamander, so you can just choose a phoenix nearby.
Oh, that's true.
But yeah, we can sense your wounds and sparks.
You can hear it.
Okay, so I'm targeting Bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bit.
Here you go, Bit. To the deck.
Okay. Do I shuffle the deck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
very specifically, I should not get it because I'm going to be drawing through my last 2 cards.
It's terrible that I'm getting it too because my deck is entirely based on draw fast.
Also,
I have 5 cards left.
now that you have joined the chant even temporarily, if you want to, Salamander, you may make an intellect skill spread to try and understand what you're saying. It's up to you. You don't have to right now if you want to
I
have
think
cards.
that's on his next turn, or is it immediate?
It's immediate.
Rude.
Well, actually, he does have all the cards.
Yeah.
I may very well die, and
Why do you have 6 cards?
because I drew one because I have an affliction in my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what they do? Okay.
Yeah, they do something bad
Um,
and let you draw another card.
So what do I do with this affliction card, by the way?
It just goes to your discard pile now.
Okay. Um,
Yes, this is the mission about, hey, maybe there's a bad side to just plowing through your deck every time.
Yep.
hang on. What is... Make a spread, you can use any one card as an intellect card. That's good. And if you use a trait, then you can tag that on, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then, can I apply the arcane as a skill here?
I'm gonna say yes. Lore would be slightly better, but this definitely works.
So does that give me a +5?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make the skill check. So I've got intellect of 5. I've got a grace, which is now an intellect of 3. We're at 8. And then I've got 5 on top of that, so we're at 13. And then I'm going to thinking quickly behind the chant and kind of tracing back through that grasp at the back of my head. And since I'm still feeling out through the blood that I've set on fire, I'm going to try and reverse engineer this because I found myself in a really sticky situation. But fortunately, I've always got a master plan.
Nice. Oh, this is a skill spread, so that's a 3.
Yeah, and also you immediately get to do the master plan thing and see if it gives you more traits.
If he
Uh,
wants to, because
affliction.
he is full of affliction.
I would prefer not to because I believe that I'm sitting comfortably at a 16.
Okay.
You could burn. Oh, you have already burned a lot of sparks.
I've not been doing great.
With a 16 total, the bulk of the chant eulogizes people who have died. The chorus is accusatory. It blames the listeners for the deaths of these innocents and demands they join the song as absolution. Setting aside the chorus, the verses never seem to repeat. Each verse is about a different person. The current one is about the lady with a bloody empty with the empty bloody shawl, saying that she was found in the stairs and was forced to join. That which she was carrying is lost. Mourn her and attack and bring others.
Okay. Oh, can I have those back?
Really?
How did it do that? No, I was trying to
Just right click and just
shuffle it, and then it physics did that.
Just hit R. When
You,
have
you
a stack.
hover over it and hit R, or can right click and do shuffle.
Oh wait.
Okay. Well, it is now the chanter's turn again. They are going to continue to go after the person who decided to be tanked. There are only enough of them for one attack.
We got one PC action between their last turn and this one.
No, because it was Whisper, it was Chanters.
Yeah, it was the Whisper.
Then we went twice. Then it was the Whisper one. This makes sense.
They both have speed too, so it's PC action. It's basically Chanter's PC action, Whisper PC action, Chanter's PC action, Whisper's PC action.
Ah. Well, I am probably screwed at this point. We will see.
You are being attacked with a power of 9.
I cannot defend against this.
Pout is going to throw out his rubber chicken and get their attention and take the hit instead, despite hovering in midair. He's going to grab onto the weed-covered trellis, which is going to light on fire as he swings around on the rubber chicken, and he's going to look up at the weeds.
You're still telekinetically being held in place.
So I can't do this. Okay.
You're also not technically adjacent to Nick right now.
Fair enough.
Deathwish specifically calls out adjacent.
Yep.
9.
I will do shared strength to give you a +1.
Okay, 4 probably, maybe 4 will decrease damage enough to let me live through this. Or so defense 4.
Defense 4?
That's with the +1?
That's with the +1.
Oof. Unfortunately, you are still taking 4 total injuries, which is 2 wounds.
Okay, that did in fact let me live through this, and they do get counterattacked for 6.
Yep. For 6. Cool.
I'm spending one of my sparks to increase damage dealt on something.
That is fair. That will take out another one.
Wow.
I have 1 card in hand.
Are you serious?
What?
My counterattacks are the only 2 cards left in my deck.
Well, it's I believe your turn.
It's my turn.
You're the only one who hasn't gone.
Okay, but
it's your turn when the Whisperer kills either me or Eric.
Am I still telekinetically held?
Yes.
Can I hit people?
I did forget. No, it hasn't gotten another turn since it grabbed you. Never mind.
Am I allowed to hit things while I'm in midair, or can I not reach?
You are. All of your spreads are reduced. Maximum cards are reduced by 1.
Cool. So Pout is going to lasso his rubber chicken onto the weed-covered trellis, and as he does so, his rubber chicken is going to ignite, and it's going to look like a phoenix. The entire thing is on fire, and it's hurting him, transforming my talon. And as it makes contact with the... now I get to draw another card. Mm-hmm. And as it contacts the trellis, that also lights on fire, and he's going to look up and say, "Oh no! Only we can stop florist fires!" So I'm going to make my first attack at the Whispered one. Mm-hmm. Using a Strength 4 card, because I'm only allowed 1 card. And then I'm going to make a second spread with this 3, and a third spread with this 3, and a fourth spread with this 2. In fact, I'm just going to use all my non-trait cards as spreads. How many health levels does he have?
He has 4 6s and 1 4.
Okay, so the first thing I have to do is hit a 10. So with this 4, plus my 4 from my talon is 8, plus my 3 damage from wounds is an 11, so that's one of his 6s. And then from this point forward, every subsequent hint is brutal damage because I'm a Durant. Mm-hmm. So
yes, you must do a total of 12 for your last hit still, but yes.
I'm leaving the 4 is the last one. Or does it have to be the highest health level?
Brutal specifically always does the lowest damage with its spillover, and you can't use brutal to take away their last health level.
Okay, so let's see, 3, 7. Okay, then you know what? I'm changing that initial 4. Actually, screw it. I'm saying I'm also throwing Reckless and Vengeful at this guy because I am wildly swimming in midair, and he's the only thing holding me aloft. And I don't know where this is going to drop me, but fuck if I care, he's going to die. So all brutal damage, that's definitely more than a 12, because I'm rolling at a base 7 damage. Mm-hmm. Actually, I didn't even need to use both those, I just need to use 1. And then how many Chanters are left? 4? Mm-hmm. There's 1 for that guy, 1 for that guy, 1 for that guy.
I mean, there's... So...
It's a group enemy.
Yeah.
I think he's just swinging at all of them a lot.
Yeah, I'm swinging a lot. Each of these is an individual spread.
Yeah.
And they're all at +7, so it's a minimum 9 damage.
Okay, you still need at least 10 to hit the Whisperer.
I already did that to him.
Okay,
River-
he's got 5 left, so I only see 4 spreads.
1, 2. Wait, how many
He's
health?
got a 4 on him.
He has 5 health levels.
Oh, I need one more health level? Fine, there's a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spreads.
Okay, they're each operating at +7,
Yes.
so this does nothing.
It's,
He's
can
doing
take
it
out
all-
four.
it's brutal.
He's all
Yeah. Oh, okay.
All of it's brutal
doing-
after the first hit. The first hit gets through the first health level, which is the 4. Then the rest of them are brutal, and I'm dealing enough to do the 12.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Yeah. I've been sitting here mathing for a while.
I understand.
And then there's 3 guys left, which is what these 2s are going towards. This stuff over here. So, boom, 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 boom. Or if you want, I can throw more at them. I've got another 4 cards in hand.
I trust you. I think you've got doing enough to this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, please describe how, you just kill everything else on this rooftop.
My rubber chicken ignites on fire. I lasso it onto the trellis. The trellis lights on fire, and as I launch myself downward to start smacking the whispered one with my fire chicken, as I am also getting burned from it, the trellis falls over on top of him in a very comic... it missed him, but it literally hit everybody else, and then he just constantly gets smacked 5 times in a row with a rubber chicken, each time it's squeaking. You just
It's
hear...
covered in gore and blood. Okay.
How it doesn't screw around.
Everybody who's below their hand limit, please draw back up to it now. We are out of combat.
Hooray!
The immediate threat is over, and you are free to make your way into the dilapidated fortress. But first, let's review the situation.
Does
How
the
did
chant
you...
stay in my deck?
Yes.
I didn't draw the affliction.
How did you come to be here? What are you trying to accomplish? Just a few hours ago, you were all in the Grand Area on Pyre. Let's step back in time and revisit your briefing. In the past, the Grand Area was the heart of the Empire. It was the home to 1,000 phoenixes and hundreds of mortal soldiers, sages, and servants. The Shrouded maintained a vast library. The Devoted pioneered new healing techniques and an enormous infirmary. The Durnt commanders taught mortal soldiers in the drill yards. All of these facilities stood empty for centuries. At the moment, the area holds fewer than 100 people. Marshals, 2 wings of phoenixes, and a few dozen mortals. The marshals are working to restore the area, but Dawn Command's resources are limited. Winter finds you as your wing concludes a training exercise. Winter is the Shrouded Marshal and always appears without warning. Spy Master and Sage, Winter monitors the state of the Empire when there's a mission that's not an emergency response. It usually comes from Winter. Everybody give me one detail about the Shrouded Marshal Winter, as she just pops in as you guys finish training.
I think the person who's the Shrouded should go first.
Yeah.
Wait, but I would never be the one to talk first.
Fair.
Oh, this is
You
just
don't have to tell the rest of us.
this is
Alright.
something this is something you notice about her. It can be a distinguishing characteristic. It can be a rumor. It can be a physical trait.
All right, I'll go first. She's wearing one of those like half capes that like cloaks over her like right arm.
Excellent.
I was gonna say she is incredibly skilled at like deflecting a question with something that is technically an answer but not the answer you want.
She constantly has a long pipe, and nobody can quite identify the smell of what's in it.
It's super weed. It's always super weed.
For some unknown reason...
There's a running bet, but no one's managed to get it away from her to figure out what it is.
Yes.
For some unknown reason, she wears high heel pumps and pinstripe-colored socks like the Wicked Witch of the East.
Okay.
She made a new wing cry their first day out of the crucible, and no one knows why to this day.
Was it us?
No, it was not. It was canonically
It was-
not us.
It was the other one.
Typing all that in. Excellent, excellent. This is great. This is a wonderful recurring character. Well, you know she's at least 300 years old. The shrouded marshal appears to be a Scavi woman in her early 20s. You immediately recognize her every time you see her, and yet you can't retain any details of her appearance. As soon as you part ways, you're left with only a vague impression of a young woman wearing a mask that covers the lower half of her face. Some people say she can talk to birds and has a network of avian spies. According to one story, she was a warlock in her first life and used to bargain with the fallen folk. Less likely tales suggest she's not actually a phoenix, but rather a fallen bound to serve on command. These are additional things.
All we know is she's called the Sting. Sorry.
Excellent. As always, Winter appears without warning. You have a mission. Follow me. She continues as you make your way to the Flame Chamber. It's a simple task, but it's vital. You're going to the capital, and you're bringing back a man named Eldan Diogenes. He's in a refugee camp there, in a place called Darhold. He's a scholar and a healer who has been studying the Dread since it began. He has dealt with skin changers in the Grimwald, and he was in Mardenford when it fell to the Chant. We need his expertise here. He's been fighting the Dread in his own way, and we think he will gladly come with you. If not, do what it takes to persuade him.
I've never really been to the capital. Do we have any idea where this camp is relative to it?
In the days before the Empire, Alonia was broken up in the city-states ruled by the Talu, powerful families backed by the power of household gods. The city of Ilan was neutral ground where the Talu would meet and do business. After the first Phoenixes defeated the Talu, they made Ilan the capital of the newly formed empire. It's the largest city in Alonia, a hub for trade, the seat of the Senate, and the home of the Emperor. It's also a major port, and it will be an easy matter to get a ship from the capital back to Pyre once Eldan is found. Sorry, I'm reading some canned answers, unfortunately, but...
Hunter's just asking for some important brass tacks. Do we have any idea where this camp is or a description of this person besides his name?
Well, he's in a refugee camp somewhere in the capital. Did they say... Yeah, they said he's in the Darhold. When the Talu families built the holds in Ilan, here we go. The Talu families built holds in Ilan. These were vast fortress blocks designed to be self-sufficient in the event of a conflict between the Talu. After the Phoenixes defeated the Talu, the holds were converted to civilian use. However, Dar Talu has a particularly dark reputation. People say the Dar gods had cursed the structure. Whatever the truth, the Darhold was never fully restored, and when the Dread began, it had been vacant for decades. The last few years have seen a flood of refugees from cities lost to the Dread, and Darhold has been converted into a makeshift refugee camp.
Salamander will look to Hunter and ask, Dread abound?
Is that a specific thing from the book?
No.
Unlikely in the capital, but we can't be certain. If that was a specific code phrase, I may not have read it.
No, he's just being taciturn.
Yeah, no. Oh, when we're back in time, Hunter's be like, unlikely in the capital, I'm pretty sure, but who knows?
He nods and then he looks to Winter and says, what enemies?
None. Nearby, there have been there have been reports of the Chant in Mardenford, but this is a simple retrieval mission.
He looks back to Hunter and says, Chant?
Something that takes control of people. Hunter looks over Crawford. Chronicler explain the mysticism? I really don't know it.
Chronicle basically go into this whole tirade about the relationship between the Dawn spirits and the Breach. Yeah.
It makes people crazy and attack everyone, and it's contagious. That's what I know.
That is true, yes. It's an affliction of the mind. Corrupts the spirit, devours the soul. All very pleasant things.
He seems to consider this and then nods and says, unexpected. Simple. And he nods again as if in agreement.
Sense. So be right back, Bio.
All good. Anybody have other questions for Winter or each other before you guys?
No, Pout's just going to be practicing his juggling act.
Excellent.
He's very bad at it. He's like a new man since he came out of the crucible.
One that's bad at juggling.
One that's bad at juggling, but is content, knowing that the evil that plagued his land will never be back because we vanquished it thoroughly and it's never coming back. And he has solace now.
So, have I had time to get to know everybody else, or did I just wander in with Hunter and then they were like, get over here?
You would have had a few days to kind of train with everybody. In fact, like I said, you guys got accosted by Winter and told you're going on a mission right after you finished a round of training together.
Okay. Then by now you guys would know that Salamander rarely exceeds 3 words in a sentence. And whenever he's left to his own devices, he looks like he's asleep. Sometimes standing up, sometimes sitting down. He just kind of like closes his eyes and stops breathing, and it's very strange.
So, is there a reason you choose to take cat naps like that? Because you're a salamander, not a feline.
He frowns and looks a little amused and says, such motion, and he just gestures around and mimics juggling, is a waste of air.
I'm not actually using any air in this act. It's mostly just kinetic force. You should try.
Breath.
You can hold your breath if you want to try juggling. Here. Puts a couple of balls in your hands.
He remembers what Hunter said in the Crucible and tries holding his breath and juggling a single ball, and he's going to see how long he can go without breathing. Do I still have to breathe?
You do not have to breathe.
After, like,
See?
10 minutes of sitting there tossing a ball,
See?
he frowns really deeply.
Not a waste of breath anymore. You need to relax a little bit more. Like, look at Bit over there. Bit?
Everyone looks over there.
Bit, where are you?
Sitting in the corner that's pretending to be Bit and has been for 15 minutes.
Yep.
I'm going to use my powers and toss a ball in the direction where I sense his wounds. How many health levels do you have, damn it?
Wait, is this when we're still back at the area or when we're on the roof?
You guys are still at the area right now.
When we're at the area, I can sense how much health you guys have at all times.
I'm fine. I mean, if we're still at the sanctuary, I'm still full.
Yep.
Actually, does this tell me where he is, though? Move your hand.
No, that is a different. That's the Shrouded Bond.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
there's an explicit one that does that.
He's somewhere.
Somewhere in the middle of nowhere.
I'm going to pull out a long balloon, make it into a sword, and just start poking like shadowy corners to see if I can find Bit.
Hunter's going to eventually come in when Pout's just sitting there tapping bricks. Like, is there a secret passage?
I'm trying to find where Bit went. As
Oh,
far as
he-
I can tell, he's gone, and the area itself has eaten him.
He was in the dining hall last I saw him.
We don't need to eat.
You could just ask.
Ah!
And Bit comes out of the completely the opposite fucking side of wherever Pout was poking.
You're getting backhanded with a balloon sword. Don't do that to me! Every time!
What? I was just sitting there.
Oh my gosh. You're worse than that retired warrior who became a bartender that I used to know.
Thanks.
Only the one, I know at least 5.
This one was unique, but that's a story for later.
Did he have crows on his shoulders?
No, actually.
Well, glad to know that one probably wasn't an immortal who's been around for thousands of years then.
Also, quick cut-in question for the group. It is getting close to 9. I know we have a hard cutoff at 10. I can either pour on the gasoline and we can try and make it through this particular mission tonight, or we can split into 2 and you guys can have a little bit more interaction time.
I'm fine with gasoline.
I'm okay with jumping back into what's been going on or advancing the media res.
Okay. All right, in that case, we're going to fast forward to you guys jumping through the Imperial Flame again.
Mm-hmm.
As you pass through the Imperial Flame after another moment of blinding agony, you arrive at the area in the capital. It's a sharp contrast. Impressive as it is, the grand area lay fallow for centuries, and the marshals are struggling to restore it. This area has been maintained throughout the years, admittedly as a museum and a curiosity. Still, it's the perfect area out from the storybooks. Polished marble walls, bright banners, a rack of weapons ready for use. The Flame Keeper stands by the signal candles, ready to assist you. She is a very in-fashion Elonian noble. She looks reasonably young, and she just has this excited look on her face. Oh, a new wing.
Hello. What's your name?
Hello, Educa Parsa. Pleasure to meet you all. Oh, yay. New phoenixes. Huh. What are your names? What's your wing?
I'm Hunter, and this is Wing Omen.
Right, that was her name.
Salamander would have been warned about that after what happened in the Crucible.
Warned about Wing Omen.
That our name was Omen because we had to come up with a name last minute because we couldn't figure one out.
Hey, Omen's a good name.
Yeah, there are a few things that he seems suspicious of, but he has not raised concerns.
Hunter still would have warned him about that after probably got assigned to them.
That's why he likes you.
Well, I know you have a mission. I hope that the sight of phoenixes in the capital will raise everyone's spirits here. What can I do to assist you today?
Do you know where insert the name of the building? Darkhold is. We need to get there pretty quickly.
Yes, of course. If time is of the essence, we can converse afterwards. Come with me, please.
Well, we can first when we go because what has happened the past few years? Hunter's absolutely trying to find out recent history since she died.
How many of you have been to the capital before?
Probably Chronicle has.
Was the capital built when I was alive?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
My
it
very
was, but it wasn't the
blatantly-
capital then.
My very blatantly absent ass is going to sit over here looking very confused.
Bit, I think you have definitely been here. Dan?
Sorry,
Oh, okay. Just making sure you're still alive.
I'm
He
here.
accidentally muted himself.
The streets of the capital are busy as always. Merchants hawk their wares, children shout and play, and citizens go through the motions of the day. But those of you who have been here before notice the many changes over the last 2 years. Soldiers are everywhere. Mostly recent recruits, still green and uncomfortable in their armor. You expected the streets to be full of beggars and refugees, but there actually seem to be fewer unfortunates than you remember. As you traverse the city to the Darhold, the holds are massive structures, capable of housing hundreds of civilians. They were built to serve as fortresses. The walls are thick stone, the windows narrow slits, the only entrance is fortified gates. You see the Darhold up ahead. It's worn and weathered, and you see the cracks in the upper walls, but it's holding together. Down the streets around the hold, there's a commotion. The Imperial army has barricaded the street, and soldiers turn people back. Taking a step closer, you see a force of soldiers moving around the Darhold. They've sealed the gate and blocked off all adjacent streets. A number of strange contraptions are set against the walls in the hold. Brass tanks and leather hoses are held together in metal frames, and soldiers are clamping hoses in place, carefully checking gauges. The mood is grim.
Well, Hunter was very happy and jovial while we were walking over because she's only ever seen the walls of the capital when her caravan passed by.
Holtz, and he thinks about it for a second. Are your cities at war?
Hmm?
Are your cities at war? And he gestures towards the military. With each other.
Also, let me know if any of you want to ask your current guide anything.
I mean, when we arrived there, I think that's what Salamander's asking. I was like, that doesn't look normal.
Most likely it's the Dread that are responsible. The Empire has a history of letting itself malign and malinger and leaving the Phoenixes do everything to save them, and then abandoning them after they've done their work.
I just hope to actually see the capital. Heard a lot of wondrous stories about it.
I will
and
also let you guys know that
Cylinder-
for the moment, if you draw an affliction card, you can just discard it without an effect, because you are not infected with the chant yet.
Man, I really want to strategically because it's literally my next draw.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
Honestly, Hunter is vaguely familiar with military things for make a spread from scouting for do I know what the hell this is and what they're doing?
Ah, excellent. This would be an intellect spread.
Can I use Grace instead? Because I've been around many places.
You know, I will give this one to you because of some things from your backstory.
Okay. And again, I have scouting, which is the other big thing, which is one of the
scouting doesn't help with the spread, but I'm going to say that you can use Grace, but only Grace.
Only Grace. Traveler doesn't help?
Not for trying to figure out what they're doing.
Okay, that is... I'll spend a spark to get myself up to 10, then.
10?
I don't have any other relevant skill if I don't get scouting or traveler.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, a 10 does not really help you figure out what they're up to right now. You hear them talking to one another. Shame, huh, Captain? Yeah, I know. It's nothing I haven't seen before. Jesus, careful, Vesta. The less jumpy you get, the more secure we're going to be, as somebody who's apparently named Vesta just keeps messing with hoses on this big brass tank.
Well, by virtue of being an obvious Phoenix, what's going on in this hold? Hunter is very obviously a Phoenix right now with frost emanating from her.
And Pout is right behind her to make her lose any level of credibility she might have.
No, you are also obviously a Phoenix.
Honk.
Salamander followed along because he's very interested in those machines.
Oh, great. More dawn patrollers, just what we need right now. Get out of here, kids. Your costumes aren't gonna actually help us right now.
You know what this is? Pulls up, like, symbol of the forceful, and also the other thing. If there's a threat, I dare say we're probably more equipped to handle it than most of these. I'm not really sure what that is, gesturing to the machine.
Doka, you've got to stop telling these kids your stories. Nope,
I'm going.
no stories. This is the real deal.
Okay, you know what? Wash.
Hmm.
Can I use either inspiring or superhuman strength to automatically pass?
What are you trying to do?
If it's superhuman strength, Hunter is just grabbing a brick and crushing it in her hand.
Ah. Yeah. You can totally do that and convince them that you are a real phoenix.
I will do that and convince them I'm a real phoenix.
Huh. Interesting. Real phoenix, huh? Why the Why the hell weren't you here when my village outside of Mardenford was lost?
How long ago was that?
Last week.
I was dead last week.
It's also true of me.
Likewise.
That's was I.
I was a bomb.
Well,
Look,
if we don't finish what we're doing here, we're all going to be dead soon. So if you could please let us do our jobs.
look. I'm very sorry about what happened to your village. This is a trying time for the entire empire, those who are willing to fight especially. What's happening here? You're setting something up. No matter what it is, if we go, we can help and at least delay it until these are ready. I'm using inspiring.
I'm gonna make a quick question before you do that. Does anybody want to make another intellect spread to see what these things are?
Someone should do that.
Sure, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
What's an
Can
intellect
I-
spread?
I only have one intellect card in my hand, and I'm afraid of drawing the spell.
Is this
The
spirit?
spell doesn't matter right now.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah,
spirits
like I
related?
said, if you draw an affliction right now, it'll just cycle. You guys haven't actually had the encounter yet where you got infected.
Also, Dan, remember you can use any card as any single card as an intellect card, regardless of its real suit.
that's
Is this
true.
related to spirits at all?
This device, no.
Okay.
We'll say war, lore, and fire are all valid.
Okay.
Oh.
Then
Ooh.
I'll use.
Yeah.
I can use Lore for this.
Yeah. I'll just use
What is
normal
that?
intelligence.
What is that one intellect card that's out there?
I'll do-
I don't know. I think
You probably forgot to shuffle it back into your discard.
Yeah.
That's 3 cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
my spread is a 9.
9.
That is a 12.
I will
Neither
burn a
of your-
spark for using inspiring to let everyone else draw a new card if that would help you right now, but I'm also just trying to inspire these soldiers into belief that hope is real and valid.
I'm just gonna say hold on to that one for a minute, and it might be more useful.
Okay.
I'm gonna build an intellect spread.
Cool.
What's
So
an
unfortunately, your guys you couldn't quite figure it out. It's some type of alchemical contraption.
So you said it has to do with fire.
Yes.
So I'm gonna reach out and try and feel the fire inside of the machine with pyromancer.
Excellent.
So you have another card and you're at like what?
Wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Hang on.
So we did get the card, or we did not get the extra card from you?
I misunderstood the card.
All good. All good.
Okay, so sorry. What I wanted to do was, as soon as I see this, I'm starting to look around and I'm trying to analyze who's doing what and what the logistical chain is and who's going where. And I sense a new project, and I cannot stop myself from getting involved in this because scope creep is real, guys. And some people like their stunts, and some people like a good project. That's my thrill seeking.
Okay. I'm okay with all of that. So, do
Hell
you
yeah,
also want to
send
throw
them to Rockford.
Pyromancer in? You're
Add
not limited
traits.
to one trait.
Oh, I
You get 3
can.
cards plus however many traits you can justify.
Yeah.
I get to draw this card anyway. Let me see what it is. Then I would also like to do Pyromancer.
And I will say
So I've got
Pyromancer counts as a
7,
3 right now.
9, 11.
So 11
Oh, and I
plus
get to
5.
count fire, so that's 16 because I have fire as a specialty.
Okay.
Burn some sparks.
You learned a lot about this in the Crucible as part of your training. The devices around Darhold are called brass dragons. They are siege engines designed to flood an area with liquid fire. They were developed in the Civil War as the rebels sought weapons that could kill phoenixes. The dragons and other flame weapons were highly unstable and resulted in massive amounts of collateral damage. One of the terms of the Phoenix surrender was that all such weapons be destroyed. It seems that the Dread is driving the Empire to desperate measures.
Suppose it is no surprise that the Empire would renege on their promises.
He's going to lean forward and say, "These are brass dragons."
They look like contraptions to me.
He's saying that to the
woman,
person who's
the
controlling them.
woman who is with your background, you would very easily recognize as a combat engineer. Oh yeah, we got to pull out some of the old designs for these things. She just kind of taps it with her wrench, and like a bit of steam comes out. Everybody tenses up, and then relaxes.
He nods, and his eyes are like practically glowing. And he says, "I am Salamander, but more importantly, I am Nerhajin Valukadi, and I am from Koratan, and I am a logistician. What is your problem with this machine?"
No problem yet. Just being careful setting it up.
He looks over at the guy who seems to be the project manager, or at least the commander, and says, "And what is his problem?" He seems unsettled.
I'm just looking for one quick thing here. I'm verifying the information he has before I respond.
This is the most words any of you have heard out of Salamander.
My problem is that we have reports of a chant outbreak.
He lets out a very short string of syllables that Hunter immediately recognizes as a very, very verbose swear.
Are we talking kumbaya, or are we talking like, siggy saggy?
We're talking
talked about this.
We're talking about a song that killed my entire family. We're not taking chances today.
Do I have any idea what the rank this person has is?
He's a captain.
Captain, there's someone very relevant in that hold that we need to find.
Not for too long.
Well, if there is a chant outbreak, as I said before, we can buy you time to get this set. We might be able to find him, and we will be able to get out.
Kid, Phoenix or not, we're not opening that door right now. If somebody is in there, they're going to be as good as fried. We have orders to set this dragon off and others in an hour.
I guess that doesn't leave us a lot of time.
This man is an
The
expert on the dread. You want to torch a man who may be able to stop this.
better a few hundred civilians than the entire capital.
Better the entire capital than a potential outbreak? This man may solve it.
Then where was he at Mardenford? Also,
Hiding in a refugee
the little
camp.
Probably in a refugee camp.
the kind of shorter guy, who's the third guy who's with the team, is like, if you guys are really phoenixes, you could probably go up over the wall. Not help. Why? Stop throwing civilians into the meat grinder.
You're not wrong, Captain. I don't know what happened at Mardenford. I don't know what happened at... And Hunter is actually going to list off a fair number of villages. But I do know what happened at... And list off a very long list of villages and cities, some of which in the north are probably reasonably well known. Back then, I didn't have the power I needed to actually help people. You say there's an hour left before you have to torch this in order to make sure the chant doesn't outbreak. To me, that's an hour where we can get the people who haven't heard it out. The chant impacts those who aren't phoenixes far more. She's not going to look to the members of her team who actually have the intellectual knowledge to know whether or not she's bullshitting about this to say anything, but she's going to say it very definitively.
Okay.
There are some people in there who have knowledge that may be able to stop another Mardford from happening. What happened to you and your family is a tragedy, and I'm very sorry it happened. Please, let us stop the next one from occurring.
Okay. I'm going to say you or any one of you can make a grace spread to try and influence the disposition of these guards who are setting up this death trap towards your guys going in.
I'm still
Nick
using
is the obvious choice right now, but
Yeah, I'll do a spread with that to help out.
only one person can make the spread. Other people can help out, but like it's via traits and such.
Yeah, I'll do it, especially since this is. I'm assuming this is diplomacy, which I have a +5 in. So.
But I use either Resolve or Traveler for this for the different places from the speech.
I'll give you a +3 from Traveler, and because this guy is actually half Scavi, and you listed a bunch of places in the north.
Honestly, he might, depending on what he knows, he might actually know who I was. Does Inspiring also help, Wash?
Inspiring very much helps. Inspiring will give you a +5.
Alright. I'm also using Survivor because a bunch of those stories are really obviously from someone who was there and in some shit.
I will allow you to add that as a +1.
Okay.
I would like to apply Infamous to this spread
Oh boy.
because I'm going to do exactly what got me killed. And while they're negotiating this with the leader, as soon as I understand that I'm not making any matter to him, I'm going to decide that he's a useless bureaucrat and start talking with the people beneath him and start figuring out, like, hey, well, let's talk about how it might be really useful to have a guy who might know how to cure this. And
Also,
wouldn't you feel a lot safer?
I'm at 15, all of you draw a card.
You're at 15 total?
I'm at 15 total before anyone boosts me. Everyone draw a card. Oh, wait. Play it as a normal card. I'm at 18 total before any boosts, so 19 with Infamous.
Also, I made a slight mistake. They actually said they're setting it off in half an hour, not an hour.
Great. Wonderful.
They're putting up the timetable. I hate this.
Mm-hmm. again, 19 total. If anyone else can boost by 1, we get to 20.
Boost by 1.
Like any trait that applies, or I think your special devoted power.
Yeah. Yeah, I can use shared strength. Yeah, I'll discard a card and there you go. I'll give you a +1.
Which was the special?
Ziggy gets to boost us just basically whenever.
Yeah, with with shared strength. Whenever a wingmate makes a spread, I can discard a card from my hand and add currently whichever is lower, which is my rank +1 to that roll.
So we are at 20.
Anything else being dumped in? Going once. Going twice. He kind of looks at you, the captain. He looks at both of his troops. He looks at both the troops under his command. And you can see something soften inside his eyes a little bit. I can't hold off too long. I can delay for an hour total. But I'm not opening the doors. You have to get in yourself.
Hunter's just going to kind of smirk, kick off the ground, leap 12 feet in the air, and land on the wall. Captain, you have some smart subordinates. Well aware that the rest of the team probably cannot follow suit with that, but...
So, quick thing. Climbing the wall is actually a grace spread. You must... Blah, blah, blah. There must be... the grace spread, there must be at least the Phoenix is divided by 2 grace spreads to succeed. So you guys can help each other out a little bit.
Do we know what the total is we all need to meet to get it?
Nope.
Acrobatics.
So grace spread.
I will also tell you guys, you're all going to make it up. The degree of your success determines how long it takes you to get up there.
I'm going to throw a
I
7.
can contribute 7.
Can I use observation to find an efficient path up?
So to be clear, once again, you guys have to make 3 checks total. Because it's round. Yeah, round it up.
Pout will walk up to the wall and just start punching handholds and then climb as he goes and make a new handhole until he gets to the top. With athletics. It puts me in a spread of 12.
If I can use observation to find the most efficient path up, I can hit 13.
Wash, does knowledge of these types of walls, having scaled this a lot in my past life to do things I was not supposed to, allow me to use acrobatics?
Acrobatics, athletics, and spycraft are the 3 things that are listed by default.
Hey.
Hey, Wash, did you say that the architecture around here is kind of crumbling?
A little bit, yeah.
Can I analyze the architecture of the wall and kind of notice, say, the pattern of destruction that's setting in and pick out the handholds that I need to do for a +5?
I'm okay with that, and that will help me do things in a minute.
Nice.
Wash, in a different part for, like, boosting a spread up a lot. Haunted. Once upon a time I did this for love, now I do this for saving others.
You know I'll give you a +5 for that.
Okay, 10, 21. Hey, I'm at 21. If anyone wants to discard a card and draw a new card to replace it, I get to add that to whatever I'm doing.
Sure, have a 3.
Okay.
24. I'll burn a spark to hit 25 to get the team up and over this wall.
Okay. Nick, you and whoever you choose to support with you get up quickly, efficiently, and effectively.
Probably me.
Yeah, no, I'm pulling the man in heavy armor who is not hyper athletic up. Just Salamander, I saw you jump off that dragon spell. I know you can make it, and has already seen the other things that Pout and Bit do?
You know, it's really hard to climb with only handholds, I say, as I try to stick my giant clown shoes in the small little handholds I had made.
Okay. So what were the totals for the other 2 checks?
Discard
Or are
the-
they still going?
I got a 12. Assuming
12 total?
12 total.
Okay.
I am also at a 12.
Okay.
I will just for one of those. Since I'll be helping to direct people to at least. I'll do it for Pout, who at least I can at least direct him into climbing things so he doesn't have to keep punching holes in the wall, and I'll use Commander to give him a +3 for 15.
So 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got a 12 and a 15 and a 24.
25.
Wait,
25.
Here's what happens. I'm gonna say, Nick, you get up there rapidly and quickly, and then you're on the top.
I'm bringing Ziggy up with, or bring Chronicle up with.
And then he kind of gives some directions and help to Pout, who makes it up relatively fast, but it still takes a few minutes. Unfortunately, you're 3 short of even the lowest bar of success, Eric. And at the end of the day, it's going to take you guys 20 minutes to all get up to the roof. Out of your hour.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It is at this point in time, once you all arrive on the roof, that you have the combat with the chanters.
Okay.
All right, so end of that combat. Hunter's just sitting there, balling her hair into fists and muttering, "Thank you, Pout. I can feel the chant there still."
That's not good.
Nope.
How many of you... You see, I keep songs out of my head by just playing something else and thinking about it. How many of you were listening to that?
Salamander sits heavily on the ground, coughs up a lungful of blood, and then raises his hand.
Don't worry,
Yeah.
I've been in your state before. The blood does your stomach good.
No, it doesn't.
That's very much not true.
Better to be inside your body than outside your body.
Again, not true.
Necessarily.
The doctor said it was all internal bleeding. That's where the blood's supposed to be.
Exactly. Also, Wash, question. I'm assuming my talon flips back over now, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mine does too. Looking over,
The scene is over, yes.
You said something in the middle of that. Are you hearing it too?
Who, me?
He nods, and he coughs out more blood and then says, "It's a litany of the dead. And it wants revenge."
I think that there's actually going to be a brief moment where Hunter just looks internally and says a brief prayer that probably none of you speak the language of.
Also, Nick, if
Yep.
you would like, you may make, you and only you, for reasons that I will not reveal, may make a grace instead of intellect spread with, I believe, a +10 total from your specialties and other factors, to try and get a handle on what the chant is.
I'm going to try and do that, and I'm also doing this as part of a shot of our prayer. By the way, I have
You only
intellect.
get one shot.
I have intellect in hand.
Oh, yeah.
So that is 15.
And I
19.
forget, do you have an affliction in your deck?
Yes.
Okay, you have +15.
Do I want to know what this is? How many sparks are worth burning on this? Can anyone else assist me? Because I could. Is this grace or intellect/grace?
It's intellect/grace, but only for you.
I can hit 28 by myself.
Are you still able to do the thing where you get a card and then we discard a card for you?
No, I used that during the last skill check.
Also, real quick, because there are slightly different information outcomes, are you trying to study the chant or understand the chant?
As in, understand. I'm going to be honest. Hunter is probably trying to get it and quiet down the dead and give them their proper last rites through speaking back to them. I don't know what that will do.
It's probably trying to understand at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
So I can burn some sparks still, but I'm at half sparks and low wounds. Can anyone trait boost? Because we're at 28.
Yeah. Let's see. What exactly are you trying to do again? Sorry.
A prayer to the dead, to these restless spirits that are part of the chant, to get what is going on and ameliorate their pain for someone in the living world does in fact care.
Oh yeah, I'm well acquainted with this sort of thing, both as a monk and acquainted with spirits. So I'll use seen this before to have you add 3.
All right,
Oh fuck yeah.
We're at 31.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a bunch of stuff. You've heard some of this before, but I'm just gonna read it all out again for completeness' sake. The bulk of the chant eulogizes people who have died. The chorus is accusatory. It blames the listeners for the death of those innocents and demands that they join the song as absolution. Setting aside the chorus, the verses never seem to repeat. Each verse is about a different person. Once again, there are several verses that were about people in the chanter mob that you were just fighting. While the verses seem to be evolving, the Phoenix, you recognize the style of the song. It's a traditional Shadowvar dirge. That allows you to recall the following story. There's a lot with 30 plus.
Yeah, sorry, recall what?
You recall the following story. The Shadowvar weren't always a wandering people. Long ago, before the Empire, the Shadowvar lived on the coast of Elona. The Yon Talu wanted those fertile lands, and they fought the Shadowvar, driving them from their homes. The greatest city of the Shadowvar was home to a musician named Tethrin. When he saw the Talu slaughtering his people, he crafted a song of sorrow that the angry Shadowvar ghosts eagerly took up. These spirits took hold of the Yon Talu, forcing the killers to sing until no breath remained. Tethrin died the same moment as the last of the Yon Talu, and the Song of Sorrows died with him. And with a 30 plus, you unlock the ability to try to craft counter songs. Let's see. Phoenix, with a deep understanding of the chant, has a better option. Devise a counter song that can mask the presence of the singer without inviting possession. Because the chant constantly evolves, it isn't something that can be written down or taught to others. You may make a grace spread every round. It's a relatively low difficulty to become hidden from chanters.
Okay.
Outside of combat, you may use this on the entire wing.
Ooh. There is going to be a brief moment where Hunter is crying, and a specific pair to Tevari. I'm trying to pronounce that right. Tefrin. Sorry.
All good.
I think I can hide us from it enough to get us further in. This is an old song. We don't have much time. We're wounded. But
So specifically, yeah. You're allowed to use Grace on the check only if you have a Shadowvar background.
Well, I have a Shadowvar background. Can I use my Traveler skill for this? For lots of old dirges and songs.
Yeah, sure. Let me see here. I just going back to the page that we're on. Here we go. So, good boy, Sparky.
Sparky's always a good boy.
So what are you guys doing now? You have this information. You're on a rooftop. You've got, as far as you know, 40 minutes to find a guy and get him out of the city.
Do we have how big is this section where we know he is? Like, is this like several blocks, or is it like a handful of buildings, or
It's a fortress.
Yeah, it's somewhere between a few blocks and a fortress.
okay?
So Hunter's just going to look like, I think I can sing a song that will keep them from noticing us. Hopefully that will give us enough time.
Wash, in character, do I know about attending spirits?
Attendant spirits? Yes, you
Yes.
would have gotten them explained to you in the Crucible.
Um, I'm going to look around and say, I am unlikely to make it through. I have two options. Um, he'll look to Hunter and say, I can lose the gift that I was given, and I will no longer be affected by the chant. But I think I'm unlikely to survive anyway. And I would rather keep the gift if I'm going to die either way. When I go, who would like me to go with them?
I'm confused. Where are you going?
To follow behind as a spirit. I would welcome you, Salamander, but Hunter looks down as like giant gaping wound in her side. I'm not sure how much longer I am going to be around either.
You'll both be fine. We're making it out of this.
A tremor shakes the building. It's brief, only lasting a few seconds, but plaster and dust fills the air, and you hear a support collapse nearby.
He'll nod to Hunter and say, if I go, I will go with you. You will survive.
She's just going to nod again. Well, let's work fast then. We have a man to save and as many others as we can. And start singing a very slow, somber song as she leads the way into the building.
Okay.
Well,
I have one more box of flavor text to read out as you guys head down, and then we'll talk about how you guys proceed from here. The upper floors of Darhold have stood empty since the days of the Civil War. They've long been stripped of furnishings, and the air is filled with the dust and the stench of urine. You'll need to be careful where you step. Many floorboards are rotting, and the floor already has a number of jagged holes. The chanters have left their mark. Strange patterns mark where the bleeding fingers have brushed against the wall, and blood from bare feet mingles with dust. You can hear the chant in the distance, a steady murmur of hundreds of voices coming from below. It's currently too far away to affect you. Bit and Hunter get the following in addition. While no one's lived up here for decades, chanters aren't the first people to come up to this level. You see signs of recent activity. A graffiti, refuse, tracks in the dust that don't match the bloody footprints of the chanters. You'd guess some of the refugees have been coming here the last few weeks.
Can you track them?
Bit, can you tell where they might have gone? If he's still here, hopefully he was wise enough to retreat to this level.
And given a shot, can I use observation for this?
Mm-hmm. Also, we're moving into the Freeform challenge section, which is moving through Darhold effectively. The way this works is you guys describe how you're doing it. You can use the same approach twice, but for moving through Darhold without being overwhelmed by chanters, caught, whatever defensive measures you're taking requires a check. No two people can be the primary on this check twice in a row. So whoever it takes point on moving, scouting, searching for survivors, looking at architecture, busting through walls, whatever. Only one person. Nobody can be the same focal point of the check twice in a row.
Should I save the counter song then for later?
Possibly, but I'll take the first challenge for this. So,
I will be right back for bio.
is this a grace or intellect spread?
It depends on how you're proceeding.
So basically, I'm looking at the signs and basically trying to find a trail or indication of where this group may have gone to see if we can find the refugee we're looking for.
Okay, so you're kind of trying to search around for survivors.
Yes.
Okay. Whoa. I will say that is grace and intellect for you because of your specialties and some other things.
Okay.
I will also say because you guys are specifically looking for people and you have some tracks to follow, add 5 on top of other specialties that may apply.
Okay. Let's see. So that would get me to 20, including my specialty. Do I want to add more via this? I can't really get a whole lot extra out of those. I think I'll just do that. So I have hit 20.
20. Okay. So I'm gonna wait for Nick to get back to actually reveals what happens next. But
I am back.
Oh, okay, cool. So part of the way that this particular freeform challenge works is there is a ludicrously high bar to hit for not having anything bad happen on the way. Basically, you got a 20, so you guys are going to find some survivors, but on the way, whether it's spare chanters, whether it's a bit of construction falling on people, whether it's a bout of the chant for those of you who are infected with it, the wing takes 2 wounds. You guys get to decide who takes them.
I'm the healthiest, so I should probably take one of them.
That makes sense.
So I go
So
from
do you
4 to
have 3 remaining or 2 remaining?
For
Health.
Or how much health you have?
oh,
left?
I have 3 remaining. Sorry,
It might make sense for you to take the others so you have ammo.
that might be good. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. I'll take one. Yeah.
Okay. So both of you, please tell me while you guys are scouting and searching for survivors, how you each take a hit while you're going through the city.
I'm going to say that Bit was too focused on following the tracks and signs of the survivors, and that he accidentally dislodged a couple of pieces of rubble that sent a small stone wall collapsing onto his leg and effectively shattered his ankle.
Excellent.
Chronicle was probably. I mean, yeah, because this place is pretty heavily damaged, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so probably Chronicle was looking through some of the smoking ruins, looking for any signs of life, and probably suffered some smoke inhalation.
Okay, so just start coughing up blood for a bit, and then you go,
Yeah.
It's okay, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Keep it on the inside, Chronicle. It's better for you.
No, it's not.
Chronicle, you don't need to breathe unless you have to speak or sing. Hunter tries and gives some advice.
I still need lungs.
Do
All
we?
right.
I'm not sure how much we do, but I'm not willing to test that right now.
Not everyone has fallen to the chant. 2 teenagers are huddled together inside a closet. They're covered with plaster, dust, and they are shaking with both shock and terror, but they are untouched by the affliction.
Pout is going to, wander over to the cupboard, open up and say, "It's okay, we're here now. Turn your frowns upside down." Just imagine, creepy clown just, goes towards cupboard doors and just opens them up and probably freaks them out initially a little bit more, and then we'll try to, scoop these 2 up and, take them with us, assuming they're not going to resist.
Give me a grace skill spread to calm them.
Can we get them out rather than take them with us?
I don't know if we have the time to go back and drop them off.
That is part of the question.
I do not have any grace cards outside of Killer Instinct and Vengeful, which I don't think is helping right now.
Do you have any other traits in hand?
Death Wish, Seasoned Veteran, Reckless, Vengeful, Killer Instinct. I do one thing very well.
The younger of the, well, not younger, the female of the two just kind of looks out at you and just goes. They're just afraid of the scary clown man.
Can one of the other of us make this spread?
Yes.
Ziggy, please.
This is grace or intellect? Or does it matter?
Grace.
Diplomacy. You're good at this.
Yeah. Yes, I will use. Yeah, I'll use diplomacy for this to try and talk them out of it.
Excellent.
So that's actually I've got plenty of grace. So, so that's 7, 10, 12 plus diplomacy is 17.
Okay. You distract them from the terrifying clown, and they calm down. Your calming, composed presence gives them something to sort of believe in and focus on.
I just wanted to make them laugh. They didn't even want to hear my joke.
Hello, sir. I'm Cyril. This is my sister Procy. Is it safe to come out?
For now, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll take you back.
Are the others safe? Have you gotten all of them out?
What? There are not many left. If there are, we are still looking, but if there is anyone else here, then they have either already left or they are no longer with us.
Procy will pipe up. Well, the main refugee camp was down a few floors lower. I mean, most of them are probably hanging out with Eldan. We weren't supposed to come up this high, but we got trapped up here.
Is Eldan the guy we're trying to find?
Yes.
Do you know where all of this started?
I don't know where it started, but it's been going on for an hour. So, I just hear voices occasionally. And
Hunter's going to try.
It's the same sound from Mardenford. It's the same sound. What's going to happen?
I'm trying to sing the counter hymn to her.
Okay. I'm not even going to make you make a grace spread for that. I'm just going to say that it's going to calm them down. They're going to be a little translate for a second, and then that was very nice. What is that song, miss?
A dirge of thanks to the dead in remembrance. A way that to silence the voices.
It was beautiful.
Thank you.
Look, just...
Can we leave? Are the rest of the refugees safe? Is Eldan okay? He was helping everyone.
We're going to find them and we're going to find him.
We can take you to where his clinic is.
That'd be very helpful.
Thank you. That'd be incredibly helpful. And I think I should probably take the next, try and save us from darkness.
Okay.
I was going to say...
So if you guys are going to keep moving, I don't think we're... Well, we'll see. We're going to be running up close against time. It depends on some things and how thorough you guys want to be with this adventure. But welcome to a new complication. There's a section in the rules called the buddy system. It's how you keep normal humans alive when they're traveling with phoenixes. So the way it works is each of you can take it's the buddy system. Each Cyril and Procy can each be assigned to one of you. When one of you would take damage, when one of them would take damage, you can choose to take it for them instead. If you take 2 damage in one hit, they have to take one of them. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on and a lot of interesting damage mitigation things you can do. Also, these are 2 teenagers who are shit your pants scared. If you guys take them with you, you're going to go a little slower and you're going to have to keep them alive.
What happens if we leave them right here and come back for them?
Well, it's a
These
question
are
of,
the moral questions that you guys will have to grapple with.
it is a challenge of they know where we're trying to go, but would they be safer with us, or would they be safer continuing to hide or going to the roof?
So the other thing that happens is if you guys take a certain amount of damage as a group while traveling, they might just die on the way.
Yeah, I think it's safer to leave them here and pick them up. And they just...
If they can
Unless
just, like,
Hunter
tell
wants
us
to give them
where-
his charm or something, but...
I mean, that charm is once it's given, right?
Yep.
Nope. I did that for a specific purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Can they tell us the way?
They can.
What's the way, kids? We just need you to stay here and be brave for a little longer. Have you ever heard of the rock that faced his greatest fear?
Oh yeah, the Dwayne story.
No, rock. He's now a little bolder.
Oh, that's even worse.
I think the answer is leave them with instructions for how to mark where they're hiding so we can grab them when we come back.
Okay. That is a valid option.
Do we think we could keep them safe otherwise? Because I feel like the answer is Bit and Chronicle are the only ones likely to get out of this right now.
I mean, we're already pretty beat up. I don't know that we can spare the resources to protect them directly.
Lower and louder isn't something that we can handle right now.
Well, tell me this, Wash. If they take a wound and die, do I get to draw a card from them?
No, they are not part of the wing.
Yeah, no. We should leave them here.
Can I trait superhuman strength to try and get them a quick thing that is much more defensible against those who are chanting and unintelligent?
Yeah, definitely. How much time do you want to spend on it?
I am moving a slab of stone.
Okay.
I'm giving.
I also just want to be clear here. Are you in fact trapping them here if you guys don't come back?
No, I want to leave them a way out, but I want to give them a more defensible hiding space than a closet.
Okay.
Someone may want to also use a trait to make sure they can get out, because Hunter is not in fact an engineer and not good at these things.
I mean, I could use observation if we don't have anything else.
I'll throw reckless at it if there's just a pile of dynamite lying around that we could build them a little fortress out of.
I'm still looking for, does Salamander have master plan or something, or does Chronicle have one of the help intellect traits?
I will also say there's a section of the rules for, hey, you bring them with them, but you spend some time mitigating damage they might take from the environment. But
unfortunately, I don't have
Gotta
anything
go
that would help
fast.
in this situation.
yeah.
We're out of time, I think.
How long have we been in here, actually?
At least a half an hour at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, we need
Because you
to-
guys spent 20 minutes scaling the walls, you've been traveling through the streets, you had a major fight, and you stopped and talked to 2 teenagers.
Wash, could I argue that Pyromancer would allow me to, use it like welding and, carve out parts of the rock?
Yeah, how much time do you guys want to spend on it? That is the important question right now. If you guys want to secure them, you can, although I don't think if you guys can't keep them you can keep them safe from the chanters. You can't keep them safe from the dragons if they go off.
I think it's mostly enough time to keep them safe from the chanters with knowledge that, either we're dead or we come back.
Here's the thing: if there's no chanters around that we actively hear as loud, and we only have half an hour, I think if they're sitting quietly in a top floor of a building, they're not going to be found in half an hour.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I don't
Like if we are wasting time, which we do not have. If we want to get them out alive, we should leave now, let them huddle in here silently, and then come back for them. Because if the chorus gets anywhere close to them, we should be able to see where it is. And if we waste time here, everybody's going to die.
Yeah,
I think that's. Actually, advise them. It gets to you through your ears. Try and cover them if you hear noise.
Oh, okay, we can do that. Like they're gonna, Percy's gonna rip off a sleeve, and then she and Cyril are gonna like start ripping it into pieces and turning it into earplugs.
And just gonna say, leave. Hunter's gonna make a random mark. This type of mark outside of somewhere where you're hiding. If you move, we'll be back as soon as we can be.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm
Good luck.
Counter song to get us to the path that they said that our actual objective is on.
Mm-hmm. That is a grace spread.
Do I get either Traveler, Resolve, or Background for that?
I'm just doing a quick check here. I'm gonna say the counter song just gives you a flat plus 10. And what were the specific specialties you were looking at?
Resolve or Traveler or Scouting?
I'm gonna say scouting and traveler work in this point. They
so
don't stack, but yeah.
20. I'm at 26.
26. Okay.
I don't think we probably need to boost that anymore, but we might.
Let me know when you're happy with the
Group, do we want to try boosting that, and does anyone have cards they can even feasibly do so?
I can give you the +1. That's about it.
We need to hit
I can get
30.
them +1.
Well, you know what? Pout is a seasoned veteran when it comes to being in a barbershop quartet. He will hum along to help that out.
We need to hit
Is that a
30
+1?
for a relevant boost. So all 4 of you need to actually boost if we want to do that.
Yeah, I can't.
Is there anything Vic can do?
I could maybe, you know what? I could probably use sneaky to keep us
That's not
hidden.
relevant. We're trying to sneak through things. Can everyone boost
We can
one?
all-
If so, we hit 30.
I'll discard a card to boost one.
Ziggy can technically boost 2 if he discards a card and there isn't a trait, but
Can I?
yeah. You can do both of those things. You can just do
No, it says I can only add the value of my rank. I can discard a card and I can add a value to my rank or the rank of the card, whichever is lower to my
Yes.
spread.
In addition, everybody can throw in a trait to help with a task if they can justify it.
Oh, okay.
So that's separate from your actual abilities. Everybody can throw a trait at something. You can throw a trait at something and discard a card and give a bonus.
I see.
Between Chronicle and... actually, you know what? No, fuck it. I'm spending another spark because I'm probably dying anyway. We're at 30.
Okay.
Before you do that, I can do something
What's up?
so that you don't have to spend the spark.
Okay.
And like as you feel the pull, as he feels the pull, Salamander's gonna be like, no.
Okay, I will have sparks remaining.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to purge Grim Determination from my deck, which removes all afflictions, including the blood curse.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I thought you said you didn't want to do.
I don't want to do it,
Then
but
just
I
let-
also
ju-
want to be useful.
Then just let him burn the sparks. Sparks we get back.
I have 6 sparks left after that. And I have a ability to regen them.
I think Eric is more worried that any card he draws can kill him right now.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And I think that we're going to need to consist to a ridiculous amount of points. So the more that we can help each other right now, the better. And my character is very, very averse to dying. So I think it's very much within his character to give up advantages that he has in the future to survive right now. So I'm going to do that.
Reasonable.
Instead of doing that right now, because these cards are a little hard to handle, I'm just going to say that none of those cards are real and discard and set them aside as I come across them. And remembering things that I know about the Empire, because I've studied very hard to be able to speak your language and understand you people, I'm going to remember that they have a tendency of lighting candles for the dead. And I'm going to use Pyromancer to create small floating votive lights to help boost the song.
I like it.
Yep.
And there it is.
Okay. Everybody, you make it through to your next to the point that you guys were guided to while taking no damage.
Yay.
Victory.
By the way, bringing the kids with you is a flat -5.
Yep.
Well,
Makes sense.
Glad we didn't do that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of trade-offs for if you manage to get them here alive, but
Yeah.
okay. Also, it is 9:50 just about. I don't think we're gonna get through this tonight if we have a hard cutoff still.
I'm willing to call it here.
I think I would like to read at least the setup for the next scene.
Okay.
But let's do that. As Darhold was designed to be a self-sufficient fortress, it's not surprising that it has an infirmary, and this is where Eldan Diogenes established his clinic. Fortunately, he was able to fortify it when the chant broke out, sealing the room with crates and rubble. Unfortunately, one of the whispering corpses found it before you. A middle-aged woman with long, dark hair is hanging in the air in front of the barricade. As you arrive, you see a makeshift barricade shatter as a wave of telekinetic force strikes it. And I will just... That is the wrong thing. That is in scene 8.
Oh, I actually just realized something. Do I uncommit sparks at the end of a scene?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
So there is a whisper between you and where Eldan is.
Is it bad that I feel like what's going to happen is Izzy and I both take an action and everything dies?
I mean, if that's the only thing there, I can kill it, I think, right now.
I will also say it's not aware of you guys showing up, so you have surprise and a +2 on attacks on your first attacks against it.
I can kill it right now.
I think Izzy and I kill it right now.
Okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I'm also.
I'll go first. I'm going to...
Let me get at least once to regain a spark.
If only the first attack has the +2, let me do it. I'm knocking off all of its health levels, and you can take the last hit.
Fair enough.
Like...
Well, except I don't deal brutal damage. That's the only problem.
I mean, 1, 2, 3... It only has 6 health levels. It's dead. It cannot survive.
I'm just going to trust you to cycle your cards as you see fit for that.
Yeah, I'm going to first use a wound to flip over my talon. So I'm currently everything is now at everything is now.
Izzy, don't do that right now. We don't know how many wounds we need.
I'm one shot.
And if he wants to.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
Too late. Done. I'm at +8 for everything.
Okay, yeah, no, you're basically just murdering it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. F used. Where the hell's my killer instinct? There it is. So let's see. I took a wound. I draw a card. What did I draw? Okay. First attack is going to be reckless, which automatically gets through, and it makes everything I do brutal. So I'll knock off one of the 4s. I will.
Okay. 7, 8, yeah.
I will knock off another 4. I will knock off another. I will knock off a 6, knock off a 6, knock off a 6, and then for the last one...
Do you let me finish it free game?
You do need a total of 12, and you've got, let's see, 4. You've got a total of +9, so...
These are all individual spreads,
Yeah,
watch, because it's all brutal.
Death Wish won't do it by itself. It's only 10.
For the last one, I've got one left, and I'm going to throw...
right.
These are for...
Brutal. I keep forgetting about your new brutal talent.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. Reckless makes every attack I make this turn brutal.
Yeah.
But
and then
he's hit 12 either way.
And then let's see. I need 12 for that last hit. Here's a 4. 4 plus 8 is 12. He's dead.
Yep.
If you want, I will throw some sparks at it, but I don't have to. He's just straight up dead. He tries to collapse the wall. Pout runs in. His rubber chicken sets on flames, and before he even knows we're there, both limbs, legs, and head are immediately sliced off. And as the wall collapses and we look into the next room, you just see Pout there with a blazing rubber chicken sword.
Also, just because I didn't get a chance to make it slightly more explicit last time, the way the Whisperer's health levels work is every single one of the health levels you take off, except the last one, basically chip away at a defensive force field around it. And the last one is the hit that finally connects.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And yeah, as I'm doing that, just the rubble is going to part, and we can look in. Do I get a card for the rubble?
Yeah.
Okay. I look inside. Are there more enemies in there, or is it just civilians?
As you bring down the Whisperer, you see someone watching from the other side of the barricade. A lean Elonian man with a knife in his hand. He steps out of cover and gestures. If you're not infected, get in quickly. We need to rebuild the barricade.
No, we don't.
No.
We're going to torch this place. We need to get you out.
Yeah. We're phoenixes. We're good with fire. You're not. Come with us if you want to live.
To demonstrate that, I'm going to do the lighting my palm on fire trick.
I just took out a whispered one with a rubber chicken that is currently on fire.
They didn't see that.
Yeah, there was dust for that. Unfortunately, Pout is forever upstaged.
Forever.
I just
It's
like
not
fire.
about you. There's more. Obviously, you have power, but please don't be as self-centered as to think that this is all that's at stake. And he walks back in while gesturing for you all to follow.
I'm going to follow to talk, but we should watch the entrance.
There are 30 civilians in here.
Great.
Right.
Once again, do you guys want to keep talking? Because, I won't change the scene, but if you guys are willing to go over, I'm willing to get you guys a chance to talk to Eldan, or we can open next week with that.
I can't go any further than that.
Yeah, I think we
okay,
should
sorry.
open next week with that.
Okay.
That sounds reasonable for do it on next week when we get into this big discussion.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay. Hey, hope you all had fun tonight. What'd you think?
Yeah, had a good mix of everything. Nice.
I like the system.
I do.
So many civilians are about to die.
I do one thing. I do it
Probably a
well.
lot.
I do it well, and I do lots of things poorly, like tell jokes.
Yeah.
Izzy, you spent 0 sparks.
Yes.
I'm just waiting for Pout to say, "Don't worry, I got this," and drop 10 sparks on one check that he otherwise shouldn't be able to pass.
Oh yeah, no, I'm well aware of it. If I want to right now, I can punch to 20 damage in a single hit. I haven't even redrawn yet.
Also, we have just reached scene 7 of 8, and 8 is optional depending on what you guys do next.
Yup.
Should be fun.
I would have had an attack 18 that turn, but
Not revealing too many things, but depending on what you guys do next, you can just try and convince him to leave with all the civilians, or will have other choices available to you, including trying to deal with 4 chanter mobs at once.
I mean, we just have to make sure Izzy takes actions.
I mean, I just got rid of my interrupts in that attack.
Well, you're drawing back up.
Oh yeah, I probably should do that.
All right.
Yep. Nada. Yeah, I have no more traits in my deck. Oh well.
How many people can I cover with one counter song? That is the question. Not enough, I know, is the answer. Who knows? Maybe with this guy's actual intelligence score.
Well, I had a lot of fun throwing lots and lots of punches at you guys. What did you guys think of the in media res thing?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
difficult.
probably
to do,
could have
yeah.
executed it slightly better, but it seems like it went okay.
The in media what thing?
Starting
The
in a
media
fight
res.
and then rewinding.
Like starting the story in the middle of the story and then seeing how we got there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that I got caught on was pretending that my hand hadn't already been affected by the previous encounter
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
because my deck build changed so significantly. Like I knew that I could mill through.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that for both me and Nick, it became kind of a meta thing of milling through as many cards as we could to get a good hand to deal with whatever we were going to have to be going back into.
Mm-hmm.
That
So,
was
like,
very
I
true,
don't think that it was a. God.
No, as I say, I actually completely agree, and part of the problem was I realized that the last card in my deck was the Affliction.
Mm.
I like the hard choice that it put me in, considering what happened last time, just in terms of like the way that the story built out. But I think that the chronological way that the deck was handled was a little
Yeah.
confusing regarding the timeline. But I don't know how to fix it because I like the in media res thing a lot.
No, me too. Like, and I had to make a spot call on the affliction cards because, like, it doesn't make sense for me to limit you guys on something that hasn't happened yet. So I think that might have been a blind
No,
spot in
I'm really
counter.
glad you didn't kill me in the past.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
the only
nice.
challenge there, and like the enemy interrupt thing is one that I'm still not sure how I feel about for this system because it's
What do you
happened.
mean?
We complete an action, new enemy appears and immediately slams us with something that can't be defended against.
Yeah, there's a max of one of those per fight thus far. But yeah,
The thing that is the bigger complaint is the can't be defended against because that's happened both times.
like
The
what?
statement thus far.
The
Like-
all or nothing things, you mean?
No, like all or nothing defense 10 is GG, you can't do it mostly.
You can once you guys die a few more times, but yeah,
Right,
I understand.
That's the problem for first death life and second life. It's a, well, I guess you just get fucked.
I mean, I am more okay with that. Admittedly, I'm not a player, and my perspective is very warped because I know I need to kill you guys to level you up. So I'm okay with having stuff like that gives you guys hard choices until you suddenly have the tools to deal with it.
So the problem is it's not a hard choice. It's not a choice.
Ah.
Like, it's new enemy spawns in and throws a you are very fucked, you can't do anything about it attack at you in the middle of otherwise an action. Basically, my answer is Effie, like, ambush spawns are bad, but it feels the same way.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only complaint for that.
Yeah. The other reason that I was okay with it in this particular instance is it's supposed to be a nasty surprise when you suddenly have an affliction thrown on your deck.
I mean, so the problem is, it's a nasty surprise, but it seems like both of their sample sessions cause those to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, it's not a nasty surprise, it's a, okay, what new spawn is going to fuck us this fight? Does that make sense?
A little.
If
I
there's
mean,
a
yeah.
nasty surprise every fight, it's not actually a surprise.
I mean, there isn't one every fight. There's usually at least one per, what do you call it? At least one per adventure.
Both times in the previous one, there was one per fight.
That's true. There wasn't one when you guys just ran up to the Whisperer and smacked him upside the head.
No, I mean, what I mean is, that is the first fight in 4 fights where that's been true.
Mm.
It's the nasty surprise and undefendable that I think I have a complaint against, but that might just be how they wrote encounters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm perfectly happy with that because I'm doing the same thing to them at this point.
Yeah.
Like, if I can do it to them, they can do it to us. and vice versa. If they could do it to us and we didn't have a chance against it, yeah, problem. But I just killed a thing with 6 health levels without breaking a sweat. Like, I threw ones down as one of my attack cards, and it still got through.
As soon as a single attack looks at you, you're dead, though.
Oh, I'm well aware if I try to activate my rubber chicken again, I'm dead.
I gotta sign off.
Yeah.
Good night, guys. Thanks for running Wash.
Yeah.
Please,
Hopefully we'll get to play
See you next week. Yeah.
and as I said, it's not a heavy complaint, but it's definitely the thing that I most noticed. But
I kind of didn't mind it early in the fight because I think that it's cool to be able to explore the mechanic. Like, as somebody
That's
who got
kind of the
infected
idea
by the
before,
chant,
too,
I'm
yeah.
not upset about having the chant because it's nice that I'm like settling into this character, and it's really funny that like my character is incredibly averse to dying,
Mhm.
and I'm like, what happens happens.
Yeah. Oh no, as I said, it's not that I'm adverse to the idea, it's that, like, in their sample fights, 3 of 4 fights have included that type of surprise.
I mean, I admittedly like running that type of surprise so far. I wasn't trying to single you out. I just part of what happens is it's the initial whisper is supposed to hit the person who triggered it, which was you, and then I threw an extra person hit into it because there are 5 of you and the difficulty curve is designed for 4.
Oh no, I said, I didn't get hit by any of them prior session. This is not a I feel singled out. This is a thing that I have noticed in the mechanics that I'm not sure about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the recording. Good
That's
night,
fair.
recording.
Good night, recording.
Right.
Good night, recording.